Downside Podcast. Back in studio for this episode is my good friend Brandon Girtz. Brandon has had an extensive career as a professional fighter, fighting for multiple organizations in mixed martial arts. Brandon is now focusing his career on bare knuckle boxing and is one of the most electrifying fighters to watch in the ring. When Brandon is not fighting or training, he's an outdoorsman. He loves spending his time outside, building, creating in nature. I always enjoy any time I get to spend with my buddy Brandon Girtz. This was a great episode, and I hope you enjoy our conversation.
Yeah, no time. I mean, I'm back to the mountains. I ain't no responsibility right now. Dude, it's... I mean, technically, yeah. Right now, technically, yeah. Because every day since it's been that, I've been busy. So it's like I get a few, and then I fix one thing, and then it's like, oh fuck, I've been gone all day today.
Do you have electricity up there?
So I just got a generator right now.
Yeah,
just a generator. I haven't tapped in yet. What's that?
How was that cold snap?
It's cold, cold. But I'm from Minnesota. You know, I know tough things. It's, man, I don't even remember what I got now. Enough to run an RV.
Yeah,
pretty well.
It's like gas, propane.
Yeah, gas. So right now I've been on the heated blanket and a little baby thing right on my face.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's good. It's good.
I want to get one of those solar jammies that'll run all of your fridge.
Yeah, all that. Well,
EcoFlow?
that's not my problem right now. Something's going on with the actual heater. Like the propane and the electric and everything works fine. And once you fix one thing, it's like I did something else. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, of course, coldest days. You work perfectly fine for a while. Like, I even test you, did a few things prior. It's like, boom, coldest day. But that's you can
it was
always,
cold as shit last night, man.
You know, you can always prepare, but you know,
yeah, hell yeah,
you know, life comes at you. So, but not a big deal. Just a little cold. Figure it out.
So awesome having a dog in here.
Oh yeah, you know he goes in.
So the last time we did your background and the whole, like, that's always the first episode. It seems like is figuring each other out.
Oh yeah.
But this one, I just want to fucking hang and shoot the shit with you. We can talk about whatever. We can watch whatever. Jeremy can pull up shit.
Heck yeah. Lots been going on. It's good, you know.
Yeah.
Good to come up and hang out and, you know, talk some shop, dude.
Fuck
yeah.
Know? No, I love seeing you, man. Like, it's been too long. I was looking at it. I was like, damn, it's been a year. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen each other since then.
But since we sat down, had a combo.
Yeah. Since the last time you were in here, which was the first time.
Yeah.
Wild.
Time's flying right now. I feel like so much is happening.
Dude, there's a lot going on. Like, everybody's just fucking winning in our circles, you know? Like, it's...
A lot of good things happening.
You healed up quickly, right?
I'm healing up. I mean, it's strong. It's getting there. You know, things with tendons, you gotta give them that time.
Yeah.
You know, because you can feel strong, this and that, but that tendon needs to fully heal.
Bro, I cannot believe you went, 4 rounds... after ripping that bicep, it was clean off, basically, right?
Yeah. It was clean off, man. It was clean off. I had no bicep. Like, it was literally up in here. Yeah, that was...
I knew it was bad when you didn't show up to the after party. That was like, fuck.
That was unfortunate. Oh, yeah, that was terrible right when it happened. It was one of those things like, fuck. Yeah, you know, and then you got to go, you know, freaking 10 minutes, nothing. Because this was the first combo I threw.
I know.
The first combo I threw. Yeah, you know, and went out, and it's like, I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, well, I still see I can get this freaking overhand right. Like, I can step in, get it, fake my left up there, and I can still get it. And then once it was like, dude, this is hard. This is hard right now.
And then 5 rounds.
This is hard. Go 5 rounds with freaking one arm, you know. Like,
with no slouch either, man.
Dude,
like,
well,
they can't.
6'2".
Yeah.
You needed to get it inside, and I couldn't do anything in there. You know,
right.
Couldn't grab. This arm was like a noodle. Yeah. Like, when that bicep tendon goes, it's just like flopping. That's like holding it all together.
Fuck,
you know, you can still move it. You can do things.
You were moving it pretty good,
dude. It, you know. But the whole time, dude.
It wasn't a cakewalk for him. I'll tell you that.
No. Yeah. I mean, I was still giving it to him. You know, trying. You know, and fucking. But like every time I threw this there, I remember it landing once, and it hit him, and it kind of felt like a noodle because it had like no strength. It was just like
because you don't have any up strength.
There's
right?
no up strength. That's why they couldn't do any. That's why I couldn't grab him, punch with this arm. Couldn't grab him here. Nothing hooks or like anything. It's just like gives. It's
Which
like
that's the game, dog, in bare knuckle.
Gives.
Yeah.
You just give, which is definitely my game.
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
on a 6'2" opponent. Get inside, grab him.
So
you
tall,
know?
man. That dude is fucking tall. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that was wild, man. That was one of those sins that was like was by far the toughest fight I've ever been.
What was the moment?
Which moment?
When it let loose.
Oh, it was
like
the
first
first
round.
combo.
Yeah, it was the first round, but so like you were teeing up.
Oh yeah, very first combo. When I blitzed him, I threw like a 5 or 6 piece or something like that, and caught him a little bit, but blew right there.
Yeah.
You know, blew right there. Well,
Was it on
I guess
impact?
that.
So it was on, but the thing is behind it, like you don't know sometimes the story. It's like I injured that in the back warming up. You know, like I fucking threw a combo and I felt it, and then my coach was like, throw left, and I look at him, I'm like it's not gone yet. Like it was still there. It was still there, so it was still fine. But, you know, the hope was go out there to be fine. But first combo throw, totally gone. You know, it probably was a partial tear in the back and then come out and freaking fully tear.
Oh,
you know, but it's like one of those things. I got to go right when I did it. It's like one of those things. I'm not pulling out. I'm not fucking pulling out.
You're fucking Brandon
I'm
Girtz.
not fucking pulling out, dude. I came, like, you're back there and you're like, all right, man, like, fucking, you know, hopefully, pray the Lord, you know, like, get through this how I'm supposed to, you know, but sure enough.
I was bummed for you, man.
First combo, you know.
Yeah. But on the mend.
On the mend, it is, you know, it is what it is. One of those things, teach you some stuff. Like I said, it was hard.
How long you think until you're back to 100? Is it
to 100?
Have they given you any like
It's
sort of time
it's like
frame?
a 6-month time frame.
Yeah, it's a
around
long
there.
one.
You know, 6 months. Because like I said, tendons are funny. Like you start, like I feel fine. There's no real pain with it. It's not as bad as like ACLs because you're on a joint or shoulder shit. Like you're healing from it.
That's
you're
what
on
I'm dealing with
because you're on
right
a
now.
joint.
Yeah.
You're on a joint, so it's moving. This sucks, and like there's a thing like I can't do certain things still, like load, because that's just like think of it as just like completely tear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I wouldn't have if I would have just been like, all right, I can't go, that would have healed just fine. You know, like back there, if I was just like, yeah, I fucking hurt it back here, like it would have healed. You know, it would have healed in a few weeks. You know, would have been fine.
I thought I saw a post or something. You're doing some peptides. What do you think about that shit?
So some BPC 157, dude, and I believe in it 100%.
Really?
I believe in it 100. So the leading up to this fight was one of those stories that I think I don't know. Like I had like a few different random injuries that were just out of the. So I was out freaking wake surfing, right? I was held onto the freaking rope a little bit, and I tore my pec right there. This is like a month before the fight. This is like a month before the fight. I'm just like, dude, like right when it happened, I was like, I'm on the boat with Kamosi and Grant, and I'm just like, they already know. Like they're like, you like they can tell because you can see in their eyes, like, fuck, dude. Right? like fuck, come on, bro. Dude. And I know, I'm just like, I know. So that's when I was introduced to peptides right there. I took those peptides. That pec was healed in 2 weeks.
Really?
Like when I say healed, I was back fucking hitting. Nothing. I felt like I had nothing going on really. So it wasn't a horrible
I'm
tear.
going to get him.
It wasn't a horrible
I've been
tear,
on the fence, but like I'm just going to go get him. Yeah.
They work, dude. That's when I was like, they work. And they're not blasting everywhere for no reason. Like you're seeing it up everywhere, you know.
They're not illegal for no reason.
Exactly. It's a protein, amino acid, like it's good for your body, you know, like we already know all those.
Right, your body naturally produces it. They're just giving you a little
giving you some of the good stuff, you know, they're taking out. So I fully believe in that stuff. Like I said, and that's what did it for me. You know, like I said, 2 weeks and I really didn't feel anything.
Who are you going to for that? Is there using a specific
Yeah, they're called Elixium. Dude, they're literally they're the guy. They've been doing guy stuff for a while, you know. Like they're the place to go. And they're right by the gym.
Oh shit.
So it just happens. It's like one of those.
I might hit you up for some contact.
Yeah. No, hit them up for sure, dude. David,
I've been dealing with rotator cuff stuff. It's not torn, I haven't gone
probably
in and
a slight tear or something in there.
I just can't get it back.
Yeah. No, this is a good way to do it, avoiding surgery or things like that. You know, like it helps.
Yeah,
it helps.
Especially I'm turning 45 this year or something.
Yeah. I'll be 40 this year, brother.
Really? Cheers,
I'll be 40
to the old
this
dogs
year, bro. Like. You know, like that's That is milestones right
Yeah.
there. That's milestones.
The Scotch is pretty good, man.
Not bad, bro.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Shout out to Taylor Welbin. Hooked me up. She brought that. She badass chick came in and recorded with us.
Yeah.
I don't know, a few months ago. So it's been sitting there. It's been aging.
Okay, been aging perfectly.
Aged a couple months and 14
I like
years.
that, Scott. I like it to hit me a little bit.
Yeah.
Most people don't like to sip on these things, but I like tough. I like tough stuff.
Yeah. Who would have guessed
I feel that. Give a sip of it. I feel like
Damn. So we were just talking before we hit record here. You're living up in the woods pretty much full time, right? Your spots. Like, we're in the mountains here, but you're really in the mountains, dude. Like, Clear Creek's right there, right?
Yeah,
that's no joke.
Running through there. It's the valley. It's like, I call it, it's the mountains. It's straight mountains. There's moose, there's bear, there's everything out there. So it's mountains. It's mountains. But it's like the city mountains to me because it ain't that far. We ain't going that far. Like, it'll be about half an hour from here, but from, like, the gym, it's 30 minutes. Denver, 35 minutes. It ain't bad because it's the location area, right there in like Empire where you drive through that main town.
It's fucking awesome.
It's like right in that area.
Yeah.
So
I grew up going to that ice cream shop.
Oh yeah, they go there for the burgers.
I think it's a dispensary now, isn't it? Or some shit?
No. It's still the ice cream one.
Yeah.
The ice cream.
When I was a kid, I remember going. Okay.
I think they just reopened. I thought you were talking about, was it Dairy Queen? They have Dairy Queen out there.
Right.
They got the best burger. That's where we go that's where me, Pat, and Rose always go and get burgers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How's Rose doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's part of your squad, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I'm out here.
Yeah.
That's
Is it
why I'm
really?
out. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I trained with them in Minnesota before I came out here.
Oh, no shit.
And I was thinking about either going back I went to California for about a year, and I was thinking about either going back there or whatever. And Pat's like, come check out Colorado first. Come check it out. And I checked it out, and I was like, all right, I like it out here. And that's where I moved out here.
Really?
Because we used to train in Minnesota
I never
together.
made that connection. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
So that's where I know them from, Minnesota. They left about a year before me. And and then I went to California. They went here. And he's like, come see this place.
That's badass.
So yeah, those are my day one homies. Training. Pat.
I'm such a fan of her, man. Like, just the whole package, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything that she does outside of fighting and everything like that. She's just a good person, man.
No, she's a great person, man. She's just trying to make a difference too. Yeah. So
and having that sort of platform, you can get. I mean, we've both seen it. You can get fucking jaded and forget about all that sort of shit. And get pretty self-consumed. And
oh yeah.
She's. I don't feel like she's ever done that.
No, and that's the thing. She wants to. She just be a good person. People be a good person. So she tries to live that model. Like that is who she is. Like
Yeah.
So. It's like I said, everybody, aspires to be a good person. Me
included.
For the most part, for the whole part, we hope as well.
Yeah, man. It's not easy, man. Like, it's not easy. You got to have. I think as you get older, it gets easier. For me, anyways. Like, you calm down a little bit. Like,
not trying to impress or do anything outside your box as much anymore. Like, why? Like, no. Like,
I don't have to impress anybody is how I feel now. It's like, I just want somebody to genuinely hang out with, man. That's honestly why I do this podcast.
Right.
It's like, I just love sitting in here, shooting the shit, fucking, and it's an excuse to hang out. With good people.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah, I only have good people in, man. Like, to the point where I kind of vet them, like if there's a SEAL or somebody coming in, I got homies. We have mutual friends. I can call some people and be like, is this a good dude? Is he a decent guy?
The world is big, but at the same time it's small. Like we learned that. Like
I could give a fuck about titles or fucking what you've accomplished. Are you a good person? That's like rule number one.
Because all that stuff ends at some point. The titles, the things, they all end. We all get old. We all go into different lives. We all do stuff. And like being a good person in the day, it's like you need people around you. If you ain't a good person, there ain't nobody around you.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? No one wants to hang out. No one wants to hang out with a downer, like, and things like that. It's not even about like we're here for people and things like that. Absolutely, but like. Life's about enjoying, right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta enjoy. At the end of the day, the titles and stuff very, very awesome. They're very important.
It's about human connection, man. This sounds pretty lame, but it's about love too, man. Like everybody
It
wants
all
to
is.
love. Like
It
you
all
can have
is.
all the money in the world, but if you don't have love, man, you're kind of fucked, right? If people don't love you,
Love is the number one thing.
Yeah.
We all get old. We all get things. All those things. Like who's around you, the people around you.
yeah,
You know, love is obviously the number one thing. You know, that's the Lord. Love. That's the Lord. You know,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
I think like the most heartbreaking thing that could happen to me as a man is like if my kids didn't love me. Like anybody else could not love me, but like that's
Your
the
own
only
king,
thing.
your
Yeah,
king, you had
that's
them
what I
around
think
you, you
about.
raised them.
And I think you got to
Like-
keep that in perspective too, right? Like think about it once a day or something, right? Like how do you want to treat them? You know, so
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, those should be the world. You
Yeah.
know, mine are. You know, and like you said, if they didn't love you, like you ain't doing stuff right.
Right.
You know, that's always.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, you gotta. I try to keep that in perspective, man.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, absolutely.
You out of the weeds yet, man? How old are yours now?
You don't ever get out of the weeds. We already know that.
Trust
We
me,
already
bro.
know
I got
that.
14 to 6 right now is the ages.
Yeah,
so
so you
like,
got 14 and
Enjoy
6
what's
and what?
left.
You have 3,
14,
right?
12, and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at like 2.5 and 1.5 around those areas.
Oh, damn, dude.
Little maniacs, bro. And
Yeah.
they're my kids. It's like they're they are little maniacs. You
Yeah.
know, one little guy is called. He's Bam Bam right now. Dude.
Yeah.
Bam Bam is coming out of nowhere, hitting you with something.
Right.
Fucking fist at Bam Bam, like. And I encourage it.
Well,
I'm not over there like smoothing it out, like just one tuned me to the face. Like it's all good.
He's around the gym,
hit.
right?
But
Yeah.
So they're not really right now because
Yeah.
it's hard. They're everywhere. So I like bring
They're
them into
too
the gym.
little,
When
yeah.
I'm in there, it's like it's important. Like I can't be guiding around them right now.
Yeah.
One day, absolutely. That's the thing, you know. But like being in there, there's so much action going on. Like I'm working, I'm doing stuff in there. You know, if I'm training or I'm training people or helping people, it's like you gotta zone it, you know, and tough with the little ones. One day, you know, one day I want to get.
Yeah,
like a
no,
little,
they're too young to be.
They're too
rolling
young, and
there.
we don't really have the like. If you're not. Like, we don't have, like, a spot to put them in, you know? Like, that would be nice, you know? That would be nice.
Here,
Little
hide
spot.
under this heavy
Yeah,
bag.
go over here, play some ninja, you know?
Right.
But they'll get there. They're going to grow up in the gym, you know?
Yeah.
They're going to grow up in the gym, you know? So they're going to be around it all the time. You know, their aunts, uncle, they're all, you know, they're all going to be people, you
Well,
know?
just your yeah. You guys are like a little family down there. Grant,
Oh, yeah.
Chris,
Oh, yeah.
Rose.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Actually,
it's
have
fucking
them all
awesome,
around
man.
you all the time, you
Oh,
know?
man.
Like...
Could you? There couldn't be anybody better to be surrounded by, man. Just fucking good people, man.
Not
Good
in
role
my-
models.
Not in my book, I don't believe.
Yeah.
You know, like I know there's a lot of things, but no, exactly. That's what I believe, man.
So Kamosi Hunt, that's coming up pretty soon, huh? Like
It is.
that's
It
big
is.
announcement this
It's
week.
a great fight. You know, I don't think Hunt should immediately get a fight, Chris.
Fuck no.
But like that's my big feeling. Like it was supposed to be the next one. You know, but you know they pushed forward and they got it and.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is-
with
it
everything,
is.
his track record and
I get it.
all
He
that
was
shit.
a champ, but
Yeah.
like I feel like I just didn't like it. But I do like it for Chris beating his ass. You know, I
Yeah.
just didn't like that they gave it straight to him. You know.
well, I just hope that he's clean and honest, man. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
but
is there a reason why it's in Italy?
Yeah,
or like, you
that's
know
where
what I
I'm
mean?
just like
Yeah.
instantly in Italy. Like I don't think so. You know, like I'm not guessing so. You
Well,
know.
Chris will just have to beat his ass on or off steroids,
Yeah,
I guess.
That,
you know
that's
I mean?
what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what Chris knows he signed up for.
Right.
You know, he was on him last time, so
Yeah.
you know.
So happy for that dude, though, man. That was a fucking cool night. I know it wasn't a cool night for you, but fucking
That's
that
what
was,
I hated that too. Like it was a big night for Chris, and like I'm back there just fucked up. I'm just like, and I don't get it. And then Chris comes back, you know, and I got to give him luck because it's like this is big for you. Like, and
Yeah.
I love this dude. Like I got genuine love for Chris. Like, and that's
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Like you know, he's only we've met I don't know how many years, but we've kind of went on this road together, this bare knuckle road. We both had our first fights together, pretty much on. I think he's been on one card that I haven't, but. So he's had 4 fights. I've had 3 with him.
Yeah, I think the
You
first
know?
time I saw you fight in person was.
Yeah,
on a
we were
bare
both
knuckle
on
card-
it. So we
the same
started
card.
this road together,
Yeah.
sorta. You know, so
And I became even a bigger fan, dude. I think you splashed me with a little bit of blood that night or sweat or some shit.
probably. But yeah, so that you know, that was a great night for him though, you know. So it that was a little bummer. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, I'm over here just fucked up, and it's like I don't get to enjoy something.
Yeah, but
big for
you
my
look
boy.
like you're doing good, man. Be
Oh, I'm
back.
doing much, but dude, injuries is just working out, really. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like coming back from an injury, you
Going
gotta be
through the
willing to go through
PT and
that
shit, right?
I always got
That's
to do
so
the
hard,
PT.
man. Yeah.
You always got to go to the PT. You
Yeah.
always have to go to the PT.
What's your regiment with that? Are you going to like a specialist or
So
something?
I go to the PT twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah, ever like literally the week after the surgery. They
Sticking
start
needles in
moving
it and all that shit.
They haven't done, everyone's different. Remember
Yeah.
that. And I think they will do some dry needling and shit like that. I've done a lot of weird treatments to it. Like I'm like through the book at this. I've like random people do like electroid treatment, the BPC, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Just speed it up, make it feel good. I'm not gonna still come before the time. Like I'm not gonna do that, but it should be better.
with the peptides, do you take them localized? Like, are
Yeah.
they shooting them in your bicep, or where do they? Are
Yeah,
they trying
right
to
around
get
the-
as
right
close to
around
the tendon?
Right around there. Yeah, they're
Okay.
supposed to find it. Little macro bites.
And then is it just subcute, like
Yep.
just above the skin a little
Yep,
bit?
just
right?
above the skin.
Huh.
It's not that bad. I mean, obviously at first it is because it's like
So I wonder in the shoulder. I guess I'd just do it.
in the
Somewhere
meat
up there,
Yeah,
yeah.
in the meat. Yeah, right by it.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's definitely where it's good with those rotator cuffs and things like that.
Yeah.
Healing it, dude. It, like I said,
It's either that or I'm going to go to TJ
everywhere.
for a weekend, Go get the stem
Get
cells.
the stem cells in.
Yeah.
And those are good too. I've had stem cells too. I've had stem cells. The BPC 157 is actually a cheaper route in a way, and I honestly think it works better. I'll be
Really?
straight up. I've done the stem cells, I think, 3 times. One was like, one I didn't feel like it happened. One did work, but I gave it that time for it to like heal and stuff like that. And that shit, luckily I got hooked up in those times. But usually that thing was like $5 to $15,000 a visit for those.
Oh, shit.
You know?
that's
what
crazy.
stem cells are crazy. It's usually around 5. You can get them cheaper, but what are you paying for then?
That,
Yeah.
was that local?
Once,
was it out- it
once,
wasn't out of the
once or
country.
twice local. I've probably done it 4 times. Like, I've had a lot of fucking injuries, and I've been in this for a long time. I've thrown a lot of things. Like, I get where I've come from, and says I get lucky and I get like accessible to these things, free.
Yeah.
In ways like that, people hook it up and stuff like that. So I've had the luxury of that and the ability for that. Luckily,
I've
to
had it
do
with
a
the
lot of these
podcast,
things.
man. It's been awesome because
know?
like once you have a little bit of a platform,
Yeah.
people are willing. Like I've had some doctors work with me and shit.
You're
for,
working
like,
with
yeah,
them,
yeah.
or you're coinciding.
But I always give
you're
them a
helping.
shout out, or I'm talking about
no,
it.
you're
right?
doing,
Yeah.
you're help. It's centered. You're all
mutual.
working together. You're mutually working together. That's how it always once was.
Yeah, man.
In a way, so that's a good thing. So I would try the BPC first.
Yeah, I'm gonna start there, I think.
and your most you're gonna pay is like I don't know, but under $1,000, and that's like
fucking
under
totally
1,000.
worth it, man.
Under 1,000,
Like to feel good or a chance to feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
thing is like I can still do shit.
Oh, yeah,
I just
oh,
can't
yeah.
do what I want to do.
That's what we all want to do, right? Like I can still do shit, but I want to do a lot more right now.
And I'm not
that's
like
what it
trying to
is.
be fucking Superman like
No,
you
no,
or fucking
no.
Chris or anything like
No,
that.
but
You
you're
know,
trying to
but
stay
like,
strong, healthy. You got
Yeah.
kids to raise, man.
Yeah.
Strong, healthy, strong.
well, I think I
dude.
said this on the last podcast. I'm pretty sure I said it. I don't know. I start blending conversations together. But I was just saying, like my daughter, I started having kids when I was in my 30s. So if my daughter gets married at like 28, 25, I still want to be able to whoop her husband's ass if I have to, man. You know what I mean? That's a 28-year-old man. Like,
Have you seen these kids?
I feel you'll be probably fine. You'll probably be fine. But
Yeah.
I just said that the other day. Like nowadays, I'll fight again, things like that. But now that's not my main motivation. It's to be able to kick my son's asses for as long as possible.
Yeah.
like that's just the thing, and that might not be physically, but like I gotta stay ahead of them.
Yeah.
I gotta stay ahead, and it will be physically in a way. There's gonna be an open bounty in the house. Like whenever you think you can take the king, whenever you think you can take the king, let's go. You
get the lazy boy.
It'll be open, for a while. They can tag team until they're
Yeah.
older, but.
need like a family belt or something, dude. Like,
It's gonna be you want to challenge my dad? It's like I remember the first day I finally beat my dad. Finally was able to beat him. Mom running out with the freaking broom, trying to stop it. Like my dad's like, "Come on, keep it going." It's like I finally was like,
yeah.
"Wow, I'm a man."
Was your dad was your dad into combat sports or anything?
He was
Or,
a
like,
wrestler
what
for a
was his
little
deal?
bit. He
Yeah.
was a wrestler for a little bit, but that you know, that's it on that end. You know, he had that. Then had a family young, you know, and was the responsible dad. You know, did everything. You know,
That's
great
rad.
dad. So.
That's cool. Is he still around, like Grandpa?
Oh yeah. They're in Minnesota.
Playing the grandpa role?
You know, goal is to get them out here. They're retired finally, so they're gonna be out here little parts of time. You know, they got 2 little grandkids to keep up with. You know?
That's badass.
So
Yeah.
That's my pops is everything. You know, that's the that's
rad.
the role model right there. How to be a good dad.
Yeah, man.
You know,
I'm so lucky I had good role. I mean, I didn't grow up with a dad. Still don't have a relationship with my dad at all, but like my grandfather fell into that spot.
oh, okay.
And
So
funny enough, they had like, I think they had my mom at, they were like 17 years old or some shit, dude. Like,
okay. So
yeah.
they were young. So
and
he
then
was
my
younger.
mom had me young.
Yeah, so he was.
So
younger.
we're only 40 years apart.
Yeah. So he wasn't. Yeah, he was still young.
So he's
enough.
still here, man. Like he's still kicking.
Okay,
He's still
okay.
a badass.
All right. And
Still fucking shovels his decks at 84 and fucking like he's just a man.
Guy.
Yeah.
Keep moving, dude. My grandma at like 95. She said, just keep moving.
Yeah.
Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Don't stop moving, doing stuff. That's the thing. You can't stop this motor. Like, you keep doing stuff. Like, age, I get it. Yes, we're all getting older. And yes, we slow down in ways. But you got to keep doing stuff. Like, it's just like, we're coming up and Beachy walking. I'm like, I let him do. You know, he's 13. He's moving slower. But I ain't like, he's hitting some stuff. He's 13 now. You know, he's slow. It's whatever. Like, but like, he's still moving. Like, once you stop doing shit, you know.
He doesn't want to just sit at home without you, man. Like,
no.
You guys are ride or
keep
dies,
doing
man.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to keep doing stuff in this life. Keep moving, keeping the body moving, blood flow, man.
Yeah, it's so true, man. Like I see it in my grandfather. I mean, that's why he's still a badass. Like he was a firefighter for 35 years or something, then retired out of that, and then worked road construction, blowing up shit with dynamite, dude. Like building roads up here in the mountains, you know, and excavation and stuff. And he was always the first guy. He could fucking out shovel me, like digging a ditch or whatever. You know, just outwork your ass.
Oh yeah. Well, that starts here too.
Yeah,
you know that. Like,
and he's
that
still like,
there.
I'll go over and like, I worry about him like killing himself shoveling his.
Oh yeah, of course.
He'll shovel
the. I remember my grandma 90. We're like, stop! Don't shovel your shit. Like, get out. Well, I had to mow. It had to get mowed. It's like we just mowed. It did not have to get mowed. I was here.
I just let him go, dude. Like he's that's what he
you're
wants
not gonna.
to do.
You can't try to do that. They're trying to live still, dude. And if something happens, something happens.
Yeah.
They take full responsibility. You don't start treating elderly like a child.
No,
where they don't
can't,
know.
man.
Like, I get it, whatever, but let them live.
The hardest part is watching. He's starting to get a little bit of like Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
But like, he's more conscious about it. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, fuck, I'm forgetting shit, you know? Like he's harder on himself than
it's bothering
than
him.
it is, you know?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, dude,
Oh, yeah.
It's not that bad. Do you remember like, you know, this fire or whatever? Or, like he'll tell you stories.
You and I were
like,
just
from,
talking
like,
about
the
how
50s.
we can't remember shit.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so like 2 episodes ago, I had a neurophysiologist in here. I can barely say that fucking word, right?
Yeah.
She's a neuro doctor, and then she has a PhD in physiology and like all kinds of shit. And she rehabs special operations guys, right?
Okay,
a ton of TBI and stuff like that. So we got a doc in our corner is what I'm getting at, dude.
Yeah.
If it ever gets real bad, she was super badass, and she was just talking about like, there's so much that you can do for your brain,
dude.
That's natural,
Mushrooms,
like being out. Yeah,
mushrooms,
psilocybin.
All types of mushrooms,
right?
but psilocybin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
No, but
I'm a
that's
fan
proven.
of the microdosing.
It's proven. It's proven to repair neural pathways. It's proven. It's literally
there's
science.
ketamine. There's all kinds of shit like that, right? But but she was like, more importantly, there's a bunch of shit that you can do, like just some like taking fish oil at a very high dose.
Oh yeah.
And then she said one of the most important things is just like getting outside, right?
Well,
like
that's still
that's
still vitamin D, but getting outside, dude, come on. Like, we just know, like, this earth was made for us to be out in nature and things like that.
Well, she said a lot of people don't know, but she's done all kinds of studies with a bunch of other like scientists, and you get this bacteria that's like out of the dirt and animal hides and like all the shit that kind of comes along with like hunting, and it's good for your brain. It's good for your like There's some shit about it. I don't know. I'm totally butchering it right now.
Yeah.
But
But I believe it.
I do too, man. Because like I feel great. Like if I'm in a pissed off mood, all I have to do is go get on a trail for 20 minutes.
You feel good. You're outside breathing.
Yeah.
You know, you like you said, every time, right? You never are like, this is fucking terrible. Even if you're tired and going up it, it's like, that's good.
Yeah.
There's just something about
I think
it, right?
that's why it's so cool what you're doing with the property. Like just to watch your progress on Instagram. I need to come up there.
You got to come up. We got to make it
will.
soon. And winter's obviously never the coolest time. It is not. That's part of why I did this now. I'm like, get in there during the tough time, feel it out, like set it up because spring is amazing, like things like that.
Oh,
like,
it's great.
Like
dude.
spring is amazing. That the land on things like that, like it's on that waterway, and that thing becomes like a raging river for during spring and stuff. All the fucking runoff we get, that's glacier water. So the river's glacier water, cold as shit. Cold as shit. Plus
year round.
So year round, anytime we go. I mean, me and Rose were just in it. I think a week ago. Yeah, it was. You know, it was cold.
Yeah, that's fucking
It was
cold.
It was cold. We go in it all the time.
Well, that's the thing too. Is it's not still water, dude. That shit's going by you.
So that's why it's even worse because it's pushing you in the current. Like when the current's down, but it's still moving. It's still moving, getting cold. So that's some of the tough part. You know, that's some of the tough part. It's cold. It's always glacier water. It's never warm. It's never warm water.
Yeah.
It's never warm.
But you've built all kinds of stuff up there yourself and stuff, right?
So I have. So I have built a ton of different like sheds, cabins, like things like that. Like so this has been like I've never done any of that. Honestly, I got this land 3 years ago. I've never cut down a tree without my dad. You know, like I've never had this. I've gone to sport. Like I've been living that life. Like I've been in wrestling and fucking MMA. Like living that life, not living. Didn't do much of that stuff until I got this property. You know, then it's like cutting down tons of trees. Building. These were the first buildings I've ever built. We built a little like tool shed right away, which is kind of just like a little mini cabin and a few other little sheds and a little cabin and things like that. Just learning how to do it, learning how to do it. I got a skid steer. I've never even driven.
Those things are cool.
They're fun, dude. It can be scary. It's like, dude, I drove one of those probably when I was like 14 for like, after my dad rented it for like, 10 minutes, 5 minutes ever in my life.
That's awesome.
So like doing all these
So you like
things.
digging dirt?
Moving tons. There was a ton of down trees. So that was the whole thing. Like tons of down trees that were just like cut down and left. So there was a lot of like cleaning up and stuff because there was mining across the street.
Must have firewood for days.
There's tons of firewood. Yeah. There's tons of firewood because there was mining across the street. So like 90 years ago, they were mining. Like Empire's a huge mining area. There's like caves, like there's some caves that like you can hike to from the
Fuck,
land.
man, be careful up there.
Oh, I know.
Some of
them are
those
scary as fuck.
shafts.
No, they're scary as fuck. They're scary as hell.
Because like they start building shafts in those mountains, and they'll be like,
they're scary,
dude. When I was a kid, my cousins grew up there, like Dumont Empire.
Yeah, Dumont Empire. That's the area.
Yeah.
That's the area. DuPont Empire.
One of their schoolmates fell down a mine shaft, dude. They never found his ass, dude.
No,
like,
I believe
gone.
it. I believe it.
Gone.
There's a few. I found probably like because right off of my land there's BLM land, like so they're all over there. So I found like probably 6 or 8 of them. I've gotten into a little bit into them. It's scary as fuck. You feel like there's a monster in there all the time. And Grant's been in it. There's a few we've been to the very end, but they were smaller. But then there's also the ones I walk in a little bit and I'm like, I'm not going in there. Like it's like you said, shot. Like you think it's like freaking.
Some of those shafts go down because what they would do is like, my grandfather mined for a long time.
Okay.
So what they'll do is like, you picture the mountain like this, like a teepee or an A shape, right?
Yeah.
So what they would do is they would take a shaft in certain spots and they would go straight down, right? Like it's a shaft.
Yeah.
So they would dig straight down, and then what they would do is build tunnels off. So no matter where you're going in on the mountain, you don't know unless you have a map. So you don't know where you're going because they're chasing gold. Right?
Oh yeah.
They were building grids inside the mountain, basically, right? So they have these crazy like elevator things that they would ride up to get onto like I forget what they call the ones that run horizontal. Jeremy, you have to maybe Google this.
Huh.
Or see if you can pull up like the Argo mine map or something like that, dude. It's wild.
No,
dude.
they're crazy. They're crazy.
So they would go up and like drill rock, and then they would have to come all the way back down, and they put dynamite in it.
Yeah.
And this is what he was doing part time when he was on the fire department. Yeah. So then they dig tunnels that go like there's the shaft that goes straight down, and then they build them like a ladder system.
There you go.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
It is crazy. Like I said, there's my.
So you don't know what you're gonna fall into, honestly.
No. So like some of them, you're walking like
You're,
light
like,
on.
tumbling for
You're
days.
walking slow.
Yeah.
You're being smart in them. You know,
It's Donkey Kong, dude.
You know, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. The shit
Burner
they used to
time.
do, dude.
Yeah.
Shit they used to do.
Oh man, it's wild, dude. You should like dredge for some gold or something there in Clear Creek.
There
dude.
probably is. So there probably is some stuff like that. But what I really want to do, where the land is, there was the train depot went through there. A train used to stop there.
No shit.
Like 100 years ago. Like this shit is all like 90 to 100 years. So where my land is, I have land kind of on two sides of Highway 40.
Okay.
There's a tunnel that goes underneath the road, and in that tunnel, there's like signings from 1920s, like 1920. Bobby J, you know, and he sketched
badass.
his name into the fucking tunnel. So there's a tunnel that goes underneath the road because I have land on two sides.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah, so there's a tunnel that goes underneath the road. Pretty crazy.
That's badass.
And then I own land on two sides of the river too, so you can build a bridge. You can build a bridge,
shit.
dude. I want to build a bridge so bad. I haven't yet. I want to build a bridge so bad though.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Like one of those fucking wobbly ones.
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
water.
like a rope one.
There's like a rope one going over that water, a little scary.
Oh, that's dope.
Going over it a little scary.
Yeah.
You know.
Like
That'd be-
Indiana Jones.
That's,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's
So-
awesome, man. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool that you have that.
Well, it's been the perfect learning thing for me too right now. Like, I want to homestead a little bit, or at least in some sort of manner. I want to have some sort of my own food.
You didn't do any of that in Minnesota, like
No,
any
we didn't
outdoor
really have-
stuff?
I grew up on 7 acres, so we had that, and I was always out doing chores, cutting trees with my dad in a way, cleaning stuff, doing the small things. But we didn't. And then my grandpa had a farm. He had 200 acres and things. But my grandpa passed away when I was younger. So and then the farm sales and stuff. But I grew up like helping, but it was more that I was the helper. You know,
Right.
I was the helper. We already know that, like I was the helper, like handing stuff, grabbing stuff, the mule. You know, like I never did this stuff. You know,
Get all the shit jobs, dude.
Like, you know, it's just but all the response, you know, the hard part, figuring it out and things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like, which has been great. I love it. So learning how to do all that, you know, like we've had a few gardens up there. We got a bunch of fruit trees and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking
You know,
awesome,
just
man.
learning it. You know, like a big thing I've learned on that so far is wildlife's a motherfucker out there.
How are you preserving fruit trees?
So, not really. So they're still doing fine. Like some will get eaten up and things like because we got moose. We got
What kind of
deer.
fruit?
So I got some trees, some pears.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
plums, And then we got a lot of berries and stuff. But we had a bear. He'd eat all the berries. Like
Oh,
once the
yeah.
berries are coming, bear sniped them.
Fuck.
You know, things like that. So you learn like a lot of wildlife out there with that. Like you can't like. The gardening stuff's tough unless you have like a greenhouse. Or
Oh,
something.
yeah. No,
You know
it's
what
so
I mean?
funny because a lot of people will move into like evergreen and they start going to like the nurseries and getting all the wildflowers or they plant like an aspen tree.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the fall comes around and a bull elk will just rip their
Rip it
fucking
up.
trees to, all.
These animals,
Just
wildlife.
don't landscape,
it's wild,
dude.
It's wildlife. It's wildlife.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, I've done a lot. Like, I love growing stuff. That's it there. And I've been practicing with it.
You need to
Things.
build like a little cage or something.
So
a
we're looking
fence.
at like I'm looking a fence and things
Or
you
a
could, or we're
greenhouse.
looking at we made a greenhouse. It's not great. We're looking at like these things called growing domes and things like that. Like it's
Okay.
like its own little ecosystem in there and shit. And you can all of a sudden have orange trees, things like that. It's its own little ecosystem.
That's cool.
So it's kind of cool there. It's a little extra, you know, things like
Yeah.
that. Or like you say, you can have a greenhouse, grow some things, but.
It's hard to grow shit in this climate too, man.
So
We're in
that's
a
why the
fucking
greenhouses are
desert,
important
like,
again.
yeah.
That's why the greenhouse you gotta control the elements a little bit, you know, things like that.
Bro, there's been times when I'm elk hunting, like some of the spots where I go, and you stumble across like a wild raspberry patch.
Oh yeah.
I won't leave, dude. I'm like
yeah.
a fucking.
Chow 'em,
I'm
dude.
pretty sure I was a
There-
bear in my former life.
There's
dude.
nothing like some your own like fresh food and things like that. Berries or
God.
finding them in the wild.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that, dude.
So good.
There-
I can
there's
spend
something-
all day in there like I'm in a candy store,
So
dude.
good, dude.
Just
I grew
so-
up like we had a lot of raspberry like bushes around my 7
Raspberries.
acres. So I was out like doing stuff, but not like never the front man.
I think like raspberries, blackberries. Have you ever had a huckleberry?
I feel so.
Yeah, they're like northern Montana, BC has a bunch of them, but
I
like
feel so.
they're kind of like a cross between like a blueberry and
They're smaller though, right? They're
yeah,
smaller.
No,
red.
they're bigger than a blueberry.
Okay.
They're like a cross between a blueberry and a raspberry. Yeah, they're pretty uncommon. We have some actually huckleberry vodka.
But yeah,
I'm not into fruity shit, but
no, it's like I said, that fruit stuff gets good. Fruit's good, dude, but fresh fruit, things like that, nothing on them, you know.
have you ever had a bear break into the place after food and stuff?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He so we had a bunch. Actually, Rose did. She put it out there like survive. She's kind of gets in that survival stuff.
Well,
so
she grows a garden.
So she does a garden
Yeah.
and things and stuff, and that's like part like they're obviously they're so close like with me. Like gardening is like a big thing, like a passion of ours and things like that. She loves gardening, but we had a ton of food out there. And like she bought a bunch of like like meals you can make easy, like these food pellets, dude. We had it in the greenhouse. The bear just broke it there and ate so much. Like I was like, holy fuck. And this is Dead's food, bro. Like you're eating food pellets you ate like 5 things of food because she had some boxes of shit. She's like, so let's put that to leg because I bought a lot of these things.
That's nothing for them. That's a snack,
dude.
bro.
Dude, he ate so much stuff that day. I come and just like how many food pellets he ate in fucking meals that are like those meals, you put some water on, they're like that type. It's like a big camp meal, like that. I'm just like, bro, you ate you ate like
shit?
You ate like 100 meals. Like you ate like 100 meals and like things like that. I'm like, you motherfucker. Yeah. So we've had bear there. I think the bear got murked though. A bear got hit on the road, and there's not like they're territorial too. Like we don't know, like bears are territorial. So you have a bear in an area, like it's not like they have like a different tribe over here. Like they're territorial.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was on my place. He's like, fuck yeah, look at all the shit you gave me. Candy shop here. Because I was planting stuff all over, dude, at first.
Right.
We were like all over planting stuff.
What's wild about them too is like once they know that there's a food source, unless they die, they come back for like 5 years, bro.
Goes into their Google Maps.
Yeah, no, it really does.
Download that shit.
And I guess like their sense of smell is way stronger than like a bloodhound
miles.
or something.
It's
dude.
like miles.
Yeah.
It's like miles. Oh yeah, he came back a few times. He ripped a few things open. So yeah, I didn't feel too bad when I heard he got smoked. I didn't feel too bad. Like I'm an animal person too. Like I'm not really a hunter. Like not that like I'm 100% for hunting. Like in things I've been hunting. I just didn't get grown up on that. But I'm kind of a baby when it comes to animals.
I am
like,
too, man.
Like in there's like I want to go hunt a little bit more now to kind of like go through that because it's still if you're doing it in the right way, it's so poetic.
That's how I am. Like I get stupid spiritual with it, man. But it means a lot to me.
No,
right?
no,
like,
for sure.
It's like you're taking someone's life.
You're taking someone's life.
And like, I mean, this sounds fucked up, but I think it would be easier to take a human life. Than like I care about animals that much, right? Like
exactly. They're friendlier.
Yeah. Sometimes.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I haven't hunted a lot. Like I hunted a little duck and stuff when I was younger with like friends. Like my parents, like none of them hunted, so I didn't grow up in that. But like I've gone and done ducks. Like something about flying, like it doesn't bother me because it's like I can't fly, so I don't relate. I don't relate with birds as much. I don't feel as bad.
Yeah.
I don't feel as bad with birds. It's like them and fish. I'm like don't feel as bad.
Yeah,
but anything else, like it's like eyeballs. Like it's like dude, like I
like
feel
if
like
they can look at you,
they can look at me. Like snakes aren't there. Like I don't like snakes or anything.
A duck's not going to crawl up onto the couch with you.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, like it's just like I said, you can fly.
I get like that, man. Like there's been times where I've snuck in on deer and they're like in love. They're with a doe and they're just these beautiful like bucks and it's like foggy out and it's like maybe I took a microdose before. You know what I mean?
It's magical looking out, dude.
It's like
a
I'm
movie.
just taking in
It's
nature.
just a movie.
And then I draw my bow and then
Yeah.
I draw down. I'm like, fuck, I can't shoot the. No, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like you start second guessing yourself, It's almost like trying to jab yourself with a needle. If you've ever had to do that,
I have to take
you're like,
this?
fuck, it takes a minute, and then like sometimes you're like, fuck, I
Absolutely.
can't do this right now. I'm going to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel you on that, man. Like I said, I get hunting. Like I'm an avid all for hunting. Like
Yeah.
like somehow most of my friends are hunters and things. Like I'm all about hunting. It's just for me, it's like owning animals that you slaughter. I couldn't do
that's
that.
how it should
I couldn't
be.
do that. I couldn't own animals that I slaughter.
Yeah.
Even though I wish I could, because I eat a lot of meat. I eat a lot of things. Like yes, it would make so much sense if you could just grow your own food.
Yeah.
So like if you can, like I've talked to like people like we're close with my girl's parents and things like that. And I'm like, if you guys can own cows and you slaughter them on your land, I'm all about it. Like fucking because the family needs meat.
I mean, the way that I look at that is I think that it almost honors the animal, right? Because then you know where it came from. I think in today's age, like we're so used to just buying cellophane wrapped steak and here it is and like it's ready to go. Like, and the reason why I know this is going on those bison experiments and stuff, and we're gonna have.
You're saying hunting is honoring, not raising.
Well, raising them too.
Yeah, but you call him Bucky, and then all of a sudden one day you murder Bucky.
Bro, so we just went and did another bison back in October.
Yeah.
I did it with Donnie, and it was the largest bison that's been done in North America in like 1,000 years. It's 100% plains bison, 2,400 pounds, dude.
What?
Like massive, and stone tools, and there was like 8 of us, 8 or might have been 10 with me and Donnie.
What do you mean stone tools?
So, see these rocks over
That's
here?
how you killed him?
Yeah, dude. No, we didn't kill him.
I was like, I did. 240 pounds. I'm like, would you stab him freaking 1,000 times,
That
dude?
is savage, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was like, damn, bro.
No, we butchered.
Okay.
So using nothing but like
those.
yeah.
Are you
Check it out.
serious?
There's still blood and
Are you
I don't know. I don't want to
serious?
gross you out, but like feel
Blood
how sharp
grosses-
that
blood
is though.
gross me out.
No, not your own blood. I know that. Yeah.
That was blood, bro.
Yeah. So pretty humbling experience. But
See
what
that-
I was getting at with that is like the ranchers, Jim and Julie, that own Eagles Wing Ranch, they raise bison.
Yeah.
So this bison had a name. His name was Stubbs.
Oh, yeah,
And he was
yeah.
purposely raised for CU Boulder for this experiment because like the bison that we have today are like crossbred with cows.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't have they don't get as big, right? Like,
Yep.
like the steppe bisons were like fucking 5,000
Dude, you go out to
pounds or
Montana,
some
you
shit,
go out to
They're
Montana, those
crazy.
things are crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So this one, Stubbs, was shout out to Stubbs, man. Still
Stubbs.
eating on Stubbs. Yeah.
Stubbs, dude,
Still
'cause he
eat-
got
Still eating on Stubbs, man. Like
Yeah.
everybody is like a whole tribe, man. Like 10 people.
Well, that was the whole thing back then. The tribe took down a buffalo, and now they're eating for months. The whole place is eating, the whole
Which
place
is cool.
eating.
And I bet you a bunch of the guys that were on that are probably listening to this podcast right now. But it was a cool
Dude,
experience, man. Because like
Absolutely, man.
it
I mean,
builds
it's-
teamwork, camaraderie. Like,
it's the cycle
we had
of life,
a day
man,
and
and
a
you're all
half, bro,
working
like,
together.
cutting up that thing. It's
That's-
just like it's wild, man.
That is wild, dude. That is
Yeah.
wild. That's amazing, though. Like that is honoring it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we are, like it's not like that's a inhumane way. They're getting eaten by freaking wolves and crazy shit or whatever the heck it is. So it's
Yeah,
not like
man.
it's inhumane. Like the animals on the side, the Lord put them on here for a reason. It wasn't for us all to hang out and eat grass. It wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't that. It wasn't for us to all hang out and eat grass. He did put them on this earth for us to eat and to all have the energy together because they do live on this world with us. So we all are one, just like trees, things like that. Like we're all here together, living together.
Those things are living too, man.
They're all
breathe.
living. So if you think like that, so that was like the thing on this land. Like it's getting a little different, but at first, like some people give me shit. It's like don't cut down anything living. That was my thing. Like we're here, we're cleaning out the dead. Like even if that thing's in your way, don't cut it down. It's like I've had a skid steer. I could have rode. There's easier paths. Like if I would just rode through this, fucking just
Right.
ride through this like a tank. But it's like my whole thing is like lead the life. Like it is life.
But isn't it weird how we respect things like you were saying just differently? Like there's people that just don't respect plants or get that
They don't
connection,
respect any
man.
of that.
Like,
They don't respect
yeah.
any of that, dude. They don't respect any of that.
Just because it can't talk back to you or look at you or like, you know what I mean? Like, but still, it's crazy because it breathes air, it moves, right? Like,
Dude, we're all on this earth. We all got put on this earth, dude.
what's wild is like you start getting into trees and like how old they can get, bro. Like, have you ever been to the redwoods?
They're wise as hell. Fuck yeah, they're
Oh,
crazy,
so
right?
badass, man.
Just that energy in there, right?
You feel like you're in a different
whole different world.
Whole
Different world, right? Whole different world. Like you jumped in the Mario world, like what?
The fuck?
What the fuck, dude? For real.
It's so badass. Yeah,
It
it's
is.
super cool.
It is.
Jeremy, you got to pull up, go to my Instagram real quick, like my personal one, is Bobby F. Marshall. And I just want to show Brandon the, oh, dude, that's a dope photo of you, man. You have so many Spartan photos, man.
Somehow, right?
This is the
Somehow, bro.
That's a good photo, though, man.
I crashed on my BMX bike when I was like 19 years old, and I wish I had a picture of the damage that was done to me.
Right.
That I'd love to show. This is crazy.
Yeah. That's not even your worst one, man. Like, fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to show Brandon real quick that Stubbs, which what I was getting at was with Jim and Julie, like because they had raised this animal since it was like little, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like the bison, they wanted to honor him, so that's why they did this, because most of the bison have to leave the ranch. So they have this like perfect life, dude. Like nothing fucks with them.
Yeah.
They get fed.
They're living a good life.
They get to
They're living a good life.
They're
living a good life. Yeah.
They're living a good life. But yeah, but then they get loaded on a trailer and they have to go to a slaughterhouse, because to like have a slaughterhouse on your property, which Jim and Julie would be glad to do the butchering there.
Yeah.
It costs hundreds of thousands of
What
dollars.
you have to do to get it
in licenses. It's not even the equipment.
That's the whole problem.
It's bullshit, man.
they
Like
make
the
you do
government
that. You
wants
can't-
control of it, dude.
Of course they do. Of the
Yeah.
food, dude. They want
It's
control of
the
the food.
FDA,
You control the food, bro. Like we already know that.
So they dig us coming up here and doing this, and it's also in the name of science for CU Boulder. And with my buddy Donnie, man, who's fucking awesome. He makes all these stone tools. So we kind of did like, it was killing a bunch of birds with one stone. But it was cool, man. Like they did a moment of silence for Stubbs, and like Jim and Julie came and took a little piece of the hide and like put it on their wall. But man, it's fucking cool, man. It was awesome.
It's intense.
Yeah. It's a learning lesson, man.
It's
like
intense.
it's very humbling.
Well, you respect life more too when you do shit like
Oh,
that. That's
totally.
just what comes from it.
Yeah.
You know, with hunting, I think a real true hunters do respect life more.
I think
You
what
know,
I get out
whereas-
of it more than that, like it's the experience, but also like I swear to God, it tastes different. Like
Oh, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
And you got it in this in a whole different way. It's
I don't waste any of it. Like you
respect
become
it even different.
Yeah, like if you grow your own strawberries, you're not gonna throw the bad ones out. Like
No,
you're gonna
no, no.
figure out
No,
some
no.
way to like
You eat it. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I used to grow like tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and things like that. I don't even like tomatoes. I eat them.
yeah.
You know, like they're out there plucking like, yeah.
Well, it's the same
yeah,
thing
this
with
thing fucking
hunting,
tastes
man.
great. I don't
Yeah,
know. This thing,
same thing with hunting, man.
well,
So-
honey's great all the
yeah.
time. But honey, dude, that's the like having your own honey and things getting that shit.
Yeah, that's
Prime,
badass
dude.
too.
We got we have a couple of little honey things. We don't have any bees yet, but we have a couple. Rose has bees at her place. Like,
Oh,
so
no shit.
So it's been a lot of practicing on figuring some things out in that sense. You know,
My buddy Josh up here is a beekeeper.
Okay.
So he's got some local bees, so he might be able to help you out. He's a super crafty dude, too. Like a badass chef down at the Wildflower. And
Oh, that's
like,
okay.
he's
So he does bees, and then he's a
chef,
chef.
he's
so
a
he's getting-
butcher.
put his own honey and everything on there.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of shit too, like it helps with allergies and all
there's
kinds of stuff.
so
Like
many-
honey is like
So, dude,
a
it's
cure-all
dude,
for
it's
a bunch
cure-all,
of
but
different
then
shit.
It's got a lot of bit like.
You need more ice or
I think I got enough.
okay.
I use less cues than you. You
Yeah.
know? But yeah, honey has so many pluses with it, dude. Oh, okay, appreciate you.
you this one too.
You know, even like not even just the honey itself, the bees themselves. Like Pat and Rose had bees at their place, dude. It was the best garden they had that year. Like when they
Really?
had the first bees, dude. They pollinate everything, go out,
Oh,
things like that.
right.
They all work together. Again, gotta have that. You know, you gotta
Dude,
have
it's
that.
so crazy. Like when you start looking at the science and how like sophisticated they are, and like
Dude.
what happens in the hive and the hierarchy, and like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're a big part of the whole system.
There's a bunch that we don't even understand too, right?
Couldn't.
Thanks.
Couldn't. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Couldn't. It's hard to understand.
Yeah.
In this world, we don't have to understand everything.
No.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that. It was like, because I go back and forth on like faith and what I think God is and nature and like, sometimes you have a psilocybin trip, sometimes you have a DMT trip, like that'll change your perspective. Sometimes, and honestly, I haven't done that in a really, really, really long fucking time. And I don't feel like I need to. Like I can get there other ways, right? Like being in nature and
So absolutely. Those are great tools.
But I think the biggest thing for me is like I talk to so many just like one of my rules to have somebody sit across from me is they have to be a savage, dude, in their own right. Like you definitely fit the fucking bill. But it's always like, our mutual buddy, Beto.
Beto.
He's a savage in his own right.
Yeah.
But then also a neuro doctor that knows more. Like they can be a savage, or it could be a quadriplegic, or it could be a dude with no legs that walks up here on his fucking hands. You know what I mean? Like
savage is a mindset in what you're doing too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's multiple savages in different ways.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like brute strength, right?
No,
that's not what I'm talking about. I mean savage like in the best way. Like just people that are like don't quit, have that mentality and a positive outlook and are good role models. And I think we've skewed what role models are today, right? Like the whole toxic masculinity and fucking all violence, right? Like forms of violence are not shouldn't be looked up to, but I disagree with that.
Should be what did you say?
They shouldn't be looked up to like forms of violence.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like gang violence.
Yeah.
I'm talking about there's a time to be fucking violent.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Right?
absolutely. That and things with like like you said, the toxic masculinity and things like that. Yet everybody tunes into what I do, or what like everybody tunes into fighting and wants to watch a good fight, and people square it off. It doesn't always have to be that, and you're doing it for a bad reason. It's fine to fucking bow up, and it's like, you think so?
No, what I think it really boils down to is like, what if you needed to use your fighting skills to save your kid's life?
So absolutely,
you know what I mean? Like I think
that's
that's
a real thing. How many situations happen in this world? People have been attacked all over the world all the time.
Yeah.
What you think sometimes people just don't get attacked for the right reason, because it's like, I'm not fucking with that guy.
Well, look at how much has happened since the beginning of the year, and maybe a light shed on it because
maybe.
But like, dude, there's some shit that's gone down, like planes crashing into fucking crowds, helicopter. Like, what if you're not physically strong to pull yourself out of a fuselage before it sinks into water? You know what I mean? Like, there's doesn't
so
have to be violence. Like, you don't have to.
No, absolutely. It's like, dude, when I was in my motorcycle accident, dude, I fucking crashed going 80 miles per hour, flying over, no helmet, no nothing. I had nothing on, bro.
Sonic the Hedgehog, bro.
I literally flew over the car in front of me. She's like, you hit me. It's like, no, I flew over you. I literally flew over you because I slammed on my brakes, did the wobblies, and flew over you and did one of these.
I know.
Run it off, dude. Like, and if I didn't have that ability and the strength in the set, I would have been I would have been face planted, probably dead. I had no helmet on. I ride reckless. Like, like no helmet on. This was even more reckless. I just took off my leather t-shirt, wind pants, just like a stupid idiot, bro. just like, bro, like what? Dive and roll. God, dude. I got fucked up a little bit, but I would have been dead. Anybody else would have been. I was going 80 some miles per hour.
That's amazing to me, man. Like, so yeah, kind of to take it back to faith, I think that there's something there. So like when I have these savages sit across from me, this is why I bounce back and forth, because like you take somebody like Grant Neal.
Yeah.
God-fearing man, believes in God 100%.
Yeah.
And I think he's right.
Oh yeah.
And then I take somebody else like Casey West that I just had in, and he's like, no, God is nature, like you know what I mean? Like everybody has a case, man. It's like
they have a case, but obviously I'm a God-fearing freaking believer.
I am too,
I've always me and God have always been been different. Like I haven't like led like how some do and stuff, but My relationship with God has always been tight. I've always prayed to him. I've always had that relationship. I always live in what I believe is in a godly way, as being a good person, not doing shit against people just to like hurts them just for no freaking reason.
Yeah.
Like, you know, things like that in a godly way. Like, I live my life. I don't put weight on anybody else's life. I don't mess up anybody else's life. You know, and like,
cheers to that, man.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like I live my life and I don't put weight on other people's lives.
And that's how it should be, man. That's like a fucking cardinal rule. Like,
you know, as a man, I do believe it is. You don't put your other weight. Yeah, you get help from your friends and you talk to them and things. But as like us being friends, I don't put my weight on you. Like, and that doesn't mean I don't tell you about a bad day or tell you about my cat died or whatever the heck it is. That doesn't mean I don't say things sometimes, but I don't put weight on you.
But that's reciprocal, man. Like, I'm gaining something out of that. Like, one other thing that I get out of this podcast, I don't mean to cut you off, but like, the other thing that I do get out of this is gaining somebody else's perspective. So, like, let's say Jerome Campbell, have this dude in, quadriplegic.
Yeah.
Fucking couldn't walk, couldn't barely fucking move his arms.
Nope.
Ripped fucking individual, walked up these stairs. Like, or some of my buddies, like Bo, you know, former SEAL from Parker's platoon, missing both legs. Like, my day's not so bad, dude. It's all perspective, right?
It's all perspective. It always is.
If Jerome can go to the gym and crush it, why can't I?
Why can't you do it?
You know,
like, I've had a lot of injuries, and it sucks. Like, I have had a lot of injuries, and I've done a rough thing, but I have more injuries than the normal person. I just have. But during those times, I blown out my ACL. You know what I think of? At least I still have a leg. You know, blow out my arm. At least I still have an arm.
Yeah.
Like, I have to work to get it back. Because I could just let it go, and then all of a sudden I have a really fucked up arm.
Well, the fucked up part,
to get it back.
And I just went through this, and I'm so pissed at myself, dude. Like, I use this as an excuse to get fat again. You know what I mean? Like, I should have just worked through it. I shouldn't have listened to. I had some bad advice, and they were like, "No, take 3 months off. Don't fucking do bench press. Don't do." So I did it. I was like, okay, I'm fucking 45. I'm looking for mileage now. I'm going to take 2.5 months off, like they said, whatever it was, fucking 10 weeks or...
Yeah.
That's 2.5 months, right? Yeah, 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Math is hard. So I did that, and then it wasn't any better, and I was like fucking going to all this shit, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. And the moment I went back to doing pull-ups and doing like the normal shit, I started feeling better. I was like,
absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Absolutely. You know, there's times and there's things when you have injuries, you got to be smart and things like that, but...
Yeah.
But it's there.
But you got to work through them. You can't stop what you're doing.
You don't
right?
stop, and the things like that. It's like you don't stop. You be out biking. You do things. We have to move the body. Yeah. We have to strengthen the body. I know we get injuries, and there is times to slow down on stuff. Like right now, I'm not put. This feels good, but like I'm not gonna do full stuff. I'm not gonna punch something fully. Like I'm gonna allow it to because your body needs to heal. Like, it's just what it is. Like, even as superpowers I think I am, which I believe I am, like, it's still got to heal.
I believe
it's still got to heal. It's still got to heal.
I wouldn't want to be punched by you even with that arm, dog.
So we still got to give things time, you know?
Yeah.
But there's always methods, and always moving the body is the top
look at
method.
Jerome, dude. This guy was a quadriplegic. And you know how he got it? Fucking on the mats, dude. Wrestling with one of his boys. Just got the wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, life is crazy. And that's the whole thing. Like, we don't know. We can plan things.
This dude is so inspiring to me, man. And, like, having him sit in here, like, just a fucking warrior, dude. This guy just, I mean, they told him that he was never going to get out of his wheelchair. And look at him now. You know what I mean? Like,
fuck that. He said, fuck that. Yeah, because things happen to you, dude. So you decide to deal with them, you know?
Yeah, this guy's savage. His son trains at Genesis, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool, man. Great guy.
Yeah, we decide, man. We make the choices.
That's just it, man. Like, so Casey, my last guest that I just had on, he had brain cancer, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He had a tumor the size of a lacrosse ball in his brain.
Yeah.
And they gave him 3 months to live, and that was in 2022. And he sat across from me yesterday, and this motherfucker could articulately speak, Like he's a savage.
Yeah,
Like
he
just
said,
still,
"Fuck that,
you know,
dude." He
Marine
said, "Fuck
Corps
that."
veteran. Like
He
just
said, "Fuck that." Dude.
yeah,
And
he's
he
like,
just went
fuck
through
you.
it.
I'm not.
Dude, I had a childhood friend's dad, and he was like, "You got diagnosed with cancer twice. You're gonna die in 2 years." Motherfucker, 10 years later, running marathons, still doing shit. The motherfucker never stops moving. Always keeps doing something.
That's part of it,
He was
right?
told he was gonna die twice.
Yeah.
I remember he was told he was gonna die when I was still a kid. This is like 20 years ago. The dude is still rocking shit. He'll be the one to wake up. He'll go ride his bike around. It's like, oh, he hit 5 miles. It's like, good morning. Like, fucking right, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you got diagnosed. You're supposed to die twice. He's been an inspiration, you know? Like, you got to take people like that in life that inspire you. You know, he's been one to me.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, my grandma was like that. Don't stop moving. 98, still fucking shoveling her driveway. You know, things like that. The guy I bought the land from, the dad of who owned the land, he kind of like watched over it, because when I bought the land, the people that currently owned it bought something in Grand Junction, like a big farm. So they had it for like 10 years just sitting there. Well, the father of that would come and check on it all the time. He's a retired guy, you know, so he'd come and check on it, drive it, check it like a couple days a week, you know. But he was the one that bought it. But I remember when they were getting stuff off my land, they had like things like he had to move, like they had some tractors, stuff still on the land, things like that, right? And he's doing something, and I'm like, let me do this. He's like, no. He's like, I got a friend, blah, blah, blah. He stopped moving for 2 days and died. He's like, never stopped moving.
Yeah.
So he's out there doing shit. I'm like, bro, I'm like, let me do this for you.
It's so true. Like, and that's like Casey's whole story is they were like, you have to do chemo or you're going to die like in a couple weeks. And he was like, no, fuck that. I was like, you can't tell me. Like he was in an outlaw biker gang, like one of the most prominent, machine gunner on a Marine helicopter unit, like multiple deployments.
Yeah.
Grew up with like just a crazy childhood, man.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no, dude, if you've seen all the shit that I've been through, like, this isn't going to kill me, dude. Like, I've almost died, like, multiple times.
Yeah.
Like,
and as this is, well, then nothing's stopping it.
Yeah,
You know, like, if this is, and that's how I live. Like I said, the Lord has a plan for me. You know, that's how I've always lived. Take it now, all right. You know, but I'm going to live. You know, because it's coming one way or another, you know?
yeah. That's faith in itself, man. I
Faith.
think is like
Faith.
believing
Like,
it.
right there.
Believing
faith.
in you. Yeah. Believing in
know?
yourself, man, I think is a lot of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know?
And asking for help. I think it's a good way to ask for help, man. I don't know. I go back and forth, man. Not everything's fucking sunshine and rainbows, dude.
Absolutely
You know what
not,
I mean?
but that's not how it's
people go
supposed to
through
be.
hard shit.
That's
you know,
not how
and,
it.
like,
That's not how it is.
You wonder
It's-
why sometimes.
We make problems too. Like so, nothing is out. Like we
100%.
make problems where there's no problem. We make a problem. You know, that's just part of the whole journey.
I think
You know?
one part of that is weeding people out that make problems, right? Like out of your life. I hate to say that, but you have to do it, man, at some point too.
Well, there's times. There's always that. You have people you care about and this and that, but there becomes a time, dude. If they don't want to help themselves, they can't. You can't let them drag you down either. You know, like you can give, you can help, you can try, and if they can't, you got to make those decisions. I've had that. I'm a very like if people know me and things like that, I'm not a patient person in that sense, in that
Really?
matter. You know, like it's like one of those things. Like, dude, I just haven't been. And it's fine. It's nothing against you. You know, I might even have much love for you, but like again, like I told you earlier, like your weight's your weight, my weight's my weight. Doesn't mean you can't talk to me about things or like I'm gonna try to help you as much as I can in ways, but don't bring me down. People, we're not supposed to like bring each other down. We're supposed to lift each other up. As friends, we lift each other up.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
the thing. It's like if you complain every time you see somebody, that's different, right? Then you're
What are you
bringing
doing to
down.
change it? What are you doing
But
to
if it's
change
like
it?
if 10 times and there's one time that is negative, right? 10 times is positive.
Yeah.
Like they're lifting you up.
Oh yeah.
That's what you want, man.
Yeah, it's not you have to be on your P's and Q's the whole time around somebody, but it's like, dude, I'm not trying to bring you my way. I'm not gonna come over here and tell you everything bad about my life right now. Can you help me out, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, come on. You know?
Yeah, no, it's and with having like your platform, your fame, your you know, and I'm not saying like you're fucking Justin Bieber or anything.
Yeah,
Far from it.
There's not many.
Okay, but let's do a little bit better comparison. Mike Tyson or some shit, right? Like that. Like you don't have his platform, but it's crazy. Like even and my platform is much smaller than yours. You know what I mean? When you're looking at like if you're looking at followers or whatever, but people just start to take your time. They're like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" And they expect it. And if not, then you're an asshole.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I don't know how to. That's been a tough one for me to navigate.
Yeah,
because people will suck up your time, and time is your most valuable thing, man. That's why
everything is your time, right?
Yeah.
You decide where you put your time in, you know. And I've always been very shielded of my time, and I made it very evident. Like it's like one of those things, like you don't ask me to help you move. Like it's just been that thing. Not that I'm an asshole and I can lift heavy things, but like, bro, I can't like hurt my back. Like I can't. Like you can get somebody else to move your stuff if you or hire somebody. But like I'm just saying, like I'm not that like friend. Like time is very valuable, and I feel like I put that out. Like people know that. Like our time. All of our time is valuable. We don't waste it, right? Like
That's why I'm so honored when the people that have said yes and have come in here.
Yeah.
Because it's the most valuable thing.
Because your time is your most valuable thing. I just had something like that recently. Time is our number one valuable. It is.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I just saw something recently about someone saying, would you take Warren Buffett's life? And the person like, well, hell no. He's, 80 years old, but he's the richest man in the world. But that's not important because the time is important, right?
Right.
The time is important. That person's not going to take, even if they're only 20 years less than him right now, they're not going to take what he has. Because they look at whatever. You have $80 billion, I only have $80. I'm still going to stay here because I have more time.
Yep. I think that it's crazy because I've worked for so many high-profile like artists on the music side of stuff, and they have absolutely no time. They're owned. I mean, they're literally owned. Like, you're going to go to this press conference. You're going to do this next. You have a radio interview. They have people telling them what to do, me included. This is the way to the stage.
Yeah.
Follow the fucking pink X's. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it. And things like that, it's like, well, what's your exchange for time now? If I give you this time now I get 20 years.
Right.
Like of my own time.
Well, I think that's a
What's the
misconception
exchange?
too. Like, we've been programmed to think that, okay, you work really, really, really hard while you're young and fit and able, and then you retire. When you're 65, you're going to get Social Security, and you buy an RV, and you're going to go around the fucking country.
Enjoy life now at 65. Where you
Bro,
can barely
you
move.
can't. No, you're stuck at home, man. Like, you cannot. Like, I think that needs to be flipped. I think you should take advantage of this time now and maybe not make as much money. That's why I'm podcasting right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who knows where I'm going to be in fucking 20 years? You know what I mean?
Who knows where we're
Yeah,
gonna
do
be
I
in
want to
5
set up a
years?
future for my
You
kids?
know?
Yeah. Do I want to set up a future for my kids and all that sort of stuff? And I'm so fortunate. Like, in my career, I got to go all over the world like 7 times.
Yeah.
Private jets, fucking tour buses, like...
And where I stand on this exactly is just enjoy the whole fucking thing. Like, what does that even mean? Enjoy the whole fucking thing. How you can do it. If you're 70 and you got to sell a couple bananas to
But there's
survive,
so many people that go for that, like, they follow that dangling carrot, right?
know.
Like, I can't wait till I can retire it.
And the thing is, like, I've lived a weird life. Like, that's just the
Yeah.
whole thing. Like, fighting is weird. Like, before that's weird. Being an athlete and just general college athlete is weird. It's different. You're choosing a different life. You're choosing not to have satisfaction right away, things like that. But you also, through that journey, it's like, if you learn, like, you got to enjoy wherever you're at right now.
Just be
Because
present,
just
man.
be present because right now, that money's not going to matter later. You set up this later. I grind here later. You're still going to have to be doing something. Like, living life is really the whole point the whole time, right? Like, that's literally the whole point the
Fucking
whole
amen,
time.
brother.
dude.
Like, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know?
Enjoying the moment, man. Because, like, you know, to have, like, a corporate job, and I'm not knocking anybody that does, but, like, if you got to go home and, like, open your laptop while you're cooking dinner to catch the email, the fucking sell the deal, to make the whatever, like...
To do what? To push it to 20 years in, and then you retire, and then you die 5 years later? Like, you never even get to, like, enjoy anything because you stress. You know what? Stress is the number one killer. Stress is the number one killer. Now, I'm all about, because I've lived a life of like you work super hard for like periods of times, because I'm fight camps. Like my life's always been fight camps like this. I work really fucking hard and then I chill. Like that's always been my life. Like training fucking hard as fuck, sleep, train, sleep, train hard, go hard.
I think you, and I'm putting words into your mouth, so this is more of a question. You love what you do, right?
So yes, and no. Like you get like I do love what I do. I'm a physical person. I love physical work, whatever that is, dude. If that's yesterday, like after I'm done trying to work on heaters and lame ass shit, I go out and start cutting. I go out and start cutting trees. I go start cutting trees, and like I literally had some logs on my shoulder. Boom, cut a fucking tree, and I actually enjoy that. Like I enjoy physical work or anything I do with my hands.
Yeah.
Like let me make and create, or even just take down. Like use my hands. Like I said, after that I go in. I'm like cutting trees. Like I think I posted a picture yesterday. I got like ice.
Oh,
on
the
my beard.
icicles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I was out working until the sun started to go down and it started to get cold.
It was fucking cold
It started to
yesterday,
get cold,
too.
but I wasn't cold. I was working.
Yeah.
I was moving trees. I was clearing areas, and I enjoy it.
Plus, you got that face.
I enjoy
mask,
it. It's
you
nice
know?
and warm,
Yeah.
bro. Nice and warm, bro. Nice and
too,
warm. Nice and warm.
No,
but I
it's,
love physical work.
And there's nothing more physical than a fight camp. Or
Thing with fighting, a lot of it is functional training. You know, it's functional training. Your body has to function. You know, but like hitting and things like that, you know, like, yeah, that's all physical work.
You know, if you're not checking out the Mountainside Podcast on YouTube, you absolutely should be. If you like the content that we create here and you want to help support the podcast, please take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hit that notification bell.
Pat and Rose FaceTime while you were gone.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
He said we got to come on that. We got to come on.
If they want, you know, I hit Pat up, and if they want to come on.
They're just so
like, I never
busy.
pressure anybody.
Yeah.
I never
Absolutely, if it
pressure
works, but
anybody.
of course have them on, dude.
Yeah.
I love those
to.
two.
That's a fucking bucket list for me.
Dude,
man.
I love
Like,
those two. They'll come on. Those are my, dude.
You know, I should have you and Rose on at the same time because we added a mic over here. That'd be rad.
Yeah. Pat,
You guys
too.
could teach me how to
Pat,
fucking
too.
garden or some shit.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, we've been that's been a big one on all of us. Like figuring that out, the gardening. We were just talking about that today, like what we've learned on that, and like that's important to us. We love doing it. You know, I love that stuff. Like right now with me, like I'm trying to clean out the dead of the land. Like, and there's so much of it. Like I've done so much.
How many acres do you have?
10 acres.
Okay, that's badass.
10 acres. And it's like a lot of it, I wouldn't call it wetlands, but it's by the river. So there's a lot of trees and shit. Like there's a lot of trees and there's a lot of dead. No one's ever did anything. When I first got it, you couldn't even get to the river. Like there was no path to it. Like you had to like fucking like whoosh back to get to it, you know, because they had horses up on top 10 years ago. And that's all that was ever done there. So you literally like could barely get to the water, things like that. It was like kind of crazy, you know. Now I made tons of paths and things and hangout areas and stuff like that.
Well, it's got to be fun for you creatively, right? Because like,
Yeah.
I see what you're doing, dude. You got a little firewood like hot tub there, and it's like
So a little
out of the creek wood,
Exactly,
or out of the creek water.
Yep. It's that. I mean that runs off the creek water, you know. And then we have a little dip spot. I've kind of created a little spot that's like our little dip, like our little cold dip,
plunge.
You know, so you can go from there to the hot tub, this or that. You know, things like that.
Dude,
like
you should do a wood stove sauna.
So that's the next thing. That's what we're working. That's what. So right now we're thinking about putting that up soon. So I really want a big one. Like I want to build one. Like I love building shit, and I could build a sauna. Not saying easy, but I can build a sauna. You know, and I want to build like a 10 to 20 person one. Like that's my goal.
Shit.
That's my goal. I want to have somewhere we all go up there and we have a big group of us and we're all fucking hanging out, all sitting in there, you know, fucking having a good time, and then going into the water, going back into the sauna, like
That's
things
what
like
you
that.
need now
You
during
know?
this cold time, man.
So I'm trying to decide right now, like the sauna's been on there, you know, like I just had so many projects and things like that. The sauna's on the top of the list right now, but I'm trying to decide if we just get like an easy one, like a 4-person, you know, things like that. But like I want to have a little more than like 4 people together. Like I want to be able to be like in there with like a good
Bring
group
the
of
tribe
us.
in,
Bring
yeah.
a good group of us, and we're all hanging out, in and out, things like that. Like
Have you ever been to Switzerland, man?
I've never been to Switzerland.
It's crazy, man. Like that sauna culture that's there is so badass. Like,
And
It's a staple. It's
It's
like
a staple, but it's
everywhere,
getting so big here.
every home that you go to, every hotel has one.
It's so
like,
good for you,
yeah,
bro.
It's so badass.
It's so good for you to sweat out your toxins. Like and yes, you can get those in workouts sometimes, but we're not always working out so hard that we're sweating balls. And you don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm not always working out that I'm sweating balls like that, where I'm just dripping and my
No.
whole shirt is like soaked.
The
Like, you
way
don't
to
have
do
work
it
out
is
like
to
that
do
all the
it
time.
after cardio.
It's
Like,
great for your body, dude.
yeah, man.
It's great. There is not a time that sauna's not good for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna straight up say it. Working up in the morning, getting the joints moving, things like that. Like you said, at night, sleep better after a workout, burn down inflammation. Like there's so many times it's great for you.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, there's so many times. Like sauna is huge. Sauna and cold plunging are big. Like cold plunging is the same thing. Like cold plunging, and when I say cold plunging, that doesn't mean it has to be freaking in a tub with ice and cold
Shower.
water exposure,
Yeah.
showers, things that are cold. 'Cause
Fuck, you know what I did? Because thanks to Jeremy, we got into cold plunging, 3-4 years ago or some shit? When did you get that stock tank?
Yeah, I kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, I did too, because I got a fucking giant.
It was 3
the
years
last
ago.
time it froze. So I have a stock tank that I can
yeah,
get in.
yeah.
But it freezes so hard up here, you know.
Oh yeah.
That it's a giant ice cube. You can't even break through it with a hand. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
solid,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's.
now it's frozen if you
Yeah,
get water there.
it's like a 300-pound piece of
Oh
ice,
yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah, it's frozen. He's done
same
that. He's
thing,
done
dude.
that like one time. Yeah, he's done that one time.
No,
Get
dude.
out of here.
Well,
No.
I
You
used to
ain't
go out-
showered and going out like freeze on my body.
I'll tell you
You're not
what.
It's not that
doing
cold.
it.
It's not
That-
that cold. It's better.
That's
than
one
jumping
thing
in
that I
cold
get out
water.
of hunting. Like, to get out of a cold tent or your warm sleeping bag into
yeah,
a
real cold,
freezing
real
cold tent, like ice on it,
Oh, yeah.
and have to get up and take a piss.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
that is such a luxury that we have at
Oh, yeah.
first
So
world.
many
Like,
luxuries.
to get up
So
and
many
like take a
luxuries.
piss
So many
like,
luxuries in that.
in a warm bathroom,
So many
bro.
luxuries. Well, like I said, you know what I'm doing right now at the land. Like, and
Yeah.
it's a sense because I'm figuring things out,
Take a
and
slow
I'm
on the
emerging myself in some tough shit right now. I'm in this tough shit. Like I'm just like emerging it, and that's part of it. Like get out in the cold. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta fucking. I built an outhouse. Like get out in the cold. Like right now it's like in.
Dude, there's
they're talking
nothing like pooping outdoors, though. I'm
tough,
sorry,
do
man.
tough
Like,
stuff. It's not even that hard. It's not that
Yeah.
big of a deal.
Yeah.
Getting soft. You know, like
Exactly,
and things in
that's
that.
what it
like,
is.
Like, yeah, I still
Yeah.
want my luxury. I ain't gonna be like, hey, I was gonna be out the whittler just doing this all the time, but I'm able to,
Yeah.
without complaining about it.
No, it
without
makes
complaining about it.
It makes you appreciate it when you do have it.
Big deal. Exactly. I'm
Right?
not doing this all the time, but right now, it's like, don't complain about it. It is cold. Yeah, fucking right. Like we talked about, I got no heat right now at the coldest time, which is ridiculous.
Dude, how much firewood did you need to put a wood stove in there? Though, or something.
So I built the cabin, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I have it outfitted where I can just insert a wooden stove, but I have like the trailer, so I'm like, I'm not staying in there. Like this
Gotcha.
is kind of like I made that as like that was more made as like prove it to yourself. You can build something sweet, and if you have people visit, they can stay in that. And like that's
Is it
what it is.
insulated or anything?
So it's not insulated.
Okay.
It is and it isn't. It's not small. The siding and things and how I built it, it's not unconventional in a way. But it's outfitted where I can insulate it. I can do all this stuff. I can put a wood stove in there. It's only a 10 by 12. So even how it's sitting right now, I could put a wood stove in there and it would heat it up and you'd be warm enough.
Oh, so it's like the size of the logs and then whatever you have in between them that's keeping it.
Exactly,
Sinking, yeah.
exactly. I got the plywood, but it's logs. It's a log fucking building.
Yeah, no,
so it's
you're
no,
good.
it's no different
You're
than
good.
if you went into a cabin freaking in the 19 whatevers. Like that's what it would be.
Which is
That's what it
awesome,
would be.
man. Like,
and
that's
they
the
had
experience
heaters
you
in
want.
there.
Yeah.
They had heaters in there. Like it would heat up just fine. You know. So
Just put a little wood stove in there, man.
exactly. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, I haven't put that one in yet because it's like one of those things. Like it's still work, and I got a lot of projects.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of.
You got a
projects.
20-person sauna to build.
And the sauna's on the top of the list. The sauna's on the top of the list,
Yeah, hell
dude.
yeah.
Because, like I said, we got the hot tub, and the hot tub's off. That takes a while to get hot. It's a whole day thing. Because I'm literally filling it up with river water, which is like 32 degrees. I'm filling it up with the coldest water possible, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like so it takes a while. It ain't
And
nothing
then you gotta
like.
keep the fire going and all that
It,
shit.
it's a
yeah.
thing. It's a
Yeah.
thing. You know, the sauna will heat up so much faster. You know,
Right.
and it's just a different heat. It's a whole different thing. You know,
Yeah.
I love them both. I love them both. I
Man,
love hot
wood
tubs.
saunas are badass, too.
Badass,
man.
bro.
Like, yeah,
Badass.
super
We'll
cool.
have one soon. That'll probably be the
Okay.
next time we go up.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be the thing. Like right now, I'm looking. Like that's the thing. When I got the land, it wasn't all about just like building a house and living here. Like it was just one of those things. Like okay, let's make the land a little better and let's enjoy. Like let's learn some stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's also enjoy it because it's literally the waterway is awesome. Like let's just like that. That
Clear
is
Creek's-
it's its number one attraction. You know, and it's cold therapy water, right?
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I mean, you got all the wildlife, like I said, fish flowing through their water. It's water. Water is life, right? Like that's the whole thing. And
It's
jumping
key,
in,
man.
That's key. Water is life, you know. Like
Yeah.
so that's the beauty of it. To getting that cold, like you're getting that natural cold water, that real mineral water, high minerals, things like that. Getting in there and just relaxing out there in Mother Nature. Like there ain't much better, you know.
There isn't nothing
like you were
better,
talking
man.
about Mother Nature's medicine, right?
Yeah.
Like just going out
the
there.
bacteria and stuff. Like Doc Kate was talking about, like stop using hand sanitizer and stop using all the shit that kills bacteria.
Kills everything. No, I never
Right?
use a hand
Because
sanitizer.
you need that. You
Never
need that
use that.
bacteria. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, I don't either, man. Like, you fucking kidding me?
No, getting out
I
in
wasn't
nature.
using it during the pandemic, dude.
No.
Like, fucking get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no. Getting out in nature is curious. People in other countries, like that's what a doctor will fucking write you. Go in nature. Like it's literally real shit. Other countries, they will write your prescription for health. Go in nature. Like that's a real thing.
My buddy Ben, former Navy SEAL, Ben Davis, shout out. He's advocating in Congress and all over the place right now with a nonprofit. And the VA system is fucked, dude, for our veterans, bro.
That's what I hear. I hear it's bad. I hear
It's pretty bad.
I got a good
man,
I got a good friend that's a veteran. And he's upset about it. I try to walk him off the fucking what it is. I'm like,
well,
bro.
it's fucked, man. Like they go in there to get help, and they're not getting help, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
just getting prescribed a shoebox full of fucking this and that,
Just shit to
da-da-da,
mellow 'em
right?
out,
And
whatever.
Get the fuck
Not
out of
real
here,
help.
right?
Not real help.
But what Ben's advocating for is some like nature therapy type things prescribed by the VA as opposed to. Like, it's
That makes
pretty
sense.
dope,
Dude,
man.
when you go out
Yeah.
nature, like you said,
and they're
you go on a
listening,
walk
man.
and
They're
you feel
having like
good.
studies,
and you
like,
feel good.
Yeah,
Like you said, you get out in the nature, and that's so. So again, like I always talk about the water. The water is the water is so cleansing and cleaning, and like nature, like that.
Yeah.
Again, I go back to the water all the time. Like that's the nature is great, but just think of the water. That's the most natural thing,
bro.
And
think of
what
the
life it's
baptism.
giving.
Baptism is.
Dude, baptism
really
huge.
it
That's
is,
a big thing that like I said, my girl Rose is involved in is like baptism. She's like I went and got baptized in
really?
in a water, yeah, with them in an event, and it was like one of those things. It's a cleansing, like uplifting thing. Like water's put on this world for a reason. You know, it's not only all in our body,
You're
right?
born in it, bro.
Born in it, bro.
You're
born
created in it.
Like so I've always been a big thing in it, you know, and that's like why I got the land that we got was because of the water. It was all about the water. Like every piece I looked at had water of some sort. Like that's what I looked at. Everything had water. Have some even a lake minimum.
You know what's crazy? Like when I think of Clear Creek, every time I do, I think of one of my uncles that told a story. So I don't know if I've told you this, but my family homesteaded, or one half of my family,
Yeah.
homesteaded. So at one point they owned pretty much all of Evergreen, not South Evergreen where we're sitting now, but like North Evergreen all the way to Blackhawk.
Okay.
Like they homesteaded that.
Yeah.
And like all those old barns that you pass on the way down here, if you've come down during the
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
it was all my family's cattle ranch at the time.
Okay.
So my uncle that's still alive and still lives up, he's probably your fucking neighbor, dude.
Really?
Yeah, and he's a salty motherfucker, dude. Like
Dude,
you guys would get along.
Mountain people are how they are, dude. They're to themselves.
Yeah.
Like that's just mountain people are different, which
Yeah.
I'm learning. Which
And
is
this
fine.
motherfucker is like a Dalton, man.
yeah,
like
yeah,
he used to
yeah.
ride bulls and is
Oh,
a real
yeah.
cowboy, and now he does, excavation and some other stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, he was telling me a story about his dad. He remembers the last cattle drive off the ranch. So they used to send him. The reason why they owned that was some of it was for mining.
Yeah,
like they
yeah,
did some
yeah.
mining, but what they would do is they would move their cattle off the land, like they were in the beef business, right? So they had to cross Clear Creek in the spring to bring them to summer range.
Okay.
So they were moving them off the grass here and bringing the cattle to summer range.
Yeah.
And he was 5 years old and had to cross Clear Creek
In the spring.
And he got washed off of his horse.
Dude.
And like was going down the river, and I don't know if I can't remember the story exactly, if his dad had to jump off or one of the cowboys had to jump off and like save him, right?
Yeah,
he was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And then when he got saved, they kicked his ass for falling off of his horse. In the
Yeah,
fucking
bro,
river.
like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You fucked up. You
know
crossed
this
at
is
the wrong
dangerous.
spot. Yeah.
Come on, dude.
So every time I go by Clear Creek, I'm just like, and that flows, man. Like,
So again, when you say it's Clear Creek, because that's what I live on. I live on Clear Creek, but I call it the river because that motherfucker flows. And I come from Minnesota, with Mississippi and things, and like when so right now it's really slow, and I can walk across it with some like fucking whatever, and it's easy as hell. But there's a time of the season where that motherfucker is raging, like people die on it. So
all the time.
So what I love about my land, again, because I love a lot of things, but what I love about it is there's no real whitewater rafting down my property because it's nuts. Like right before my property starts is where Clear Creek and South Bend or something meet.
Yeah.
So then it gets big. Before my land, two rivers meet. So then my shit is fucking nuts. And it's like class 5 crazy shit, and I've only seen a couple kayakers and random people go down it. Like I've probably seen like 4 people total. But the last kayaker I seen, I'm on my land, I'm doing whatever. It's happening. I'm working. I'm cutting something. I'm doing something. I'm working, and I see a kayaker, and he's like on my other, because I call it the island. My other piece of land is on like the other side of the water. And I call it the island. He's over there, and he's like, I'm like, is this dude? What is he doing over there? Like, and I'm like, hey, bro, you're on private property, because he's like getting out. I'm like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, you're on private property, because what are you doing? Like, I didn't know what.
And you're on Brandon Girtz private property, by the way.
Don't just pop on, dude. Like, this is my skinny dipping. This is my skinny dipping spot, bro. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, he yells over to me. He's like, bro, I just almost died. He's like, can I cross your property? And I'm just like, all right, bro. But he's like, and he comes over and he's like, dude, I'm a guide. Like, this is crazy, like right here. Because it was last year. We had like crazy water and things. The melt was nuts. And he's like, I'm a guide, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, dude, I just almost died. And I was just like, all right, man.
Well, don't die on my property.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out
I'm
of here.
more just like, bro, like this thing kicked your ass. Maybe don't go down it. Like, I was just like, you can't handle it, dude. Yeah. You gotta fucking walk up my land, dog. Like, you can't handle it. You know what I told him? I'm you know, Vici. You're lucky I don't have the dogs out right now. They're usually out roaming. Like, I was like, bro. He just looks at me with big eyes. I'm like, bro, dogs are out, dude. Yeah. Fucking Vici, you know.
That's fucking funny,
it's
man.
one of those things, it's like crazy right there, you know? Like, it is nuts right there. Like, and I've been in it, dude. I've swam the thing. I've gotten fucked up by it. Like, when it's crazy like that, I'll try to, like, swim across. Our jump hole is perfect. You can jump in it, and then it brings you into a perfect spot. Like, I've created a pretty sick little spot. Cool. We have, like, me, Pat, Ro, like, people that I'm close with that come there a lot with me. We've created a cool little spot. But if I try to cross that motherfucker, dude, I remember last time I was all beat up, dude. I was all beat up from it.
You know where Luke lives?
Mm-hmm.
Like down below Luke.
Okay.
There's a river down there. And there's boulders like bigger than the studio. That are in the fucking river.
In the river.
It's dope, man. It looks like God fucking set those things in there, man. They're huge.
He did.
And then
what happened? He did set them in there, bro. He did.
And then what happens is like they start to build like caverns underneath them,
because the water hits.
They've been there for thousands of years, right?
It starts separating.
So they start separating. They freeze. They get little pockets on the top that you can go sit like in a hot tub.
It's cool.
You know what I mean?
Cool,
it's fucking badass. But there's a few spots where you can jump in that river, and basically you jump down below the current. And then you're kind of floating, like there's like a low current and a high current. And once you float up and hit that high current, it spits you out like
Spits
15
you
feet
out.
down the
Yeah,
river.
yeah.
It's so much
Oh,
fun,
yeah.
man. Like you
Oh,
jump
yeah.
off this
I love that shit.
huge
I love
boulder.
that
You got to
shit.
kind of climb up on it,
Yeah.
jump off of it, and then it's a deep pool, and you go down below the
Yeah.
current, and then it
Shoots
once
you
hit the
up, dude.
It's like a
That
water
shit's so
park,
cool.
man. It's so much
That
fun.
shit's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
That natural water, dude. I love it. I
Yeah,
love
man. There's
that.
something about being in that, man. It's so rad.
There's something about it, you know. That again, that's why I love the place I have right now, and that's what we're trying to figure out. Like, it's such a dope place where it's just like, what do you do with it? Like, because I want to have other people experience it. I don't want to just crowd it myself, you know. And the
Right.
thing, like,
Yeah.
but that's the thing I want to share with people, you know, like people I love, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
because it's such a great experience being in nature and things like that, and being in the water. Like, there's just nothing. There's not a lot like that, you know. There just isn't, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with it right now. I'm trying to figure out like how does that make sense? Because I also don't want to abuse the place either. Like, I don't need to overrun. I don't, you know, like Airbnb shit scares me because it's just like one of those things that's just
You
like
don't know who's coming
I
out.
don't. You don't know who's coming in. Like dude, I've planted so much things.
Why don't
there.
you start a
I've
cult,
planted
dude?
I've got some ideas. Listen,
Dude, I got a cult. I got a
Consult
cult.
with
I
me.
got my homies
I know you
already,
do.
bro.
That's what I'm
We
saying,
do have a
like-
cult. Like, you already know. Like,
I know. I think I'm
we
part
do.
of it
We do
in some form or fashion.
You
Yeah.
for sure are fucking molding into there. Like absolutely, brother. Like, you are fucking part of it. You know. And that's the thing. It's where we need other people, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. I always tell people: don't worry about me.
Yeah.
yo,
Like
did you ever grow up watching this?
What is this?
This is Doug Pernicke. This guy he ended up at like 55. He ended up building this cabin, and then became a master like wilderness photographer and cabin builder, survivalist. Like, he lived there from like 50 to 80.
Where was this
Alaska.
at?
Alaska.
Decided at 50 that he was gonna like
And
That's
that-
badass.
zero anything.
Yeah.
You know, being able to survive yourself is.
If you're not checking out the Mountainside Podcast on YouTube, you absolutely should be. If you like the content that we create here and you want to help support the podcast, please take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hit that notification bell.
So I am doing like the like self thing. It is hard, and obviously the biggest thing is I'm away from my family. Like right now, trying to figure some stuff out. Because
Right.
again, like I've told you, I've had this for 3 years. Like, we're at a point like I spend a lot of time out there in a way, and I spend all my extra money out there, like, because I love it. You know, so it's always like, oh, get this new tool. It's like I never had anything that I
That's
have
Brandon's creative.
it's my
dude.
thing. Like, I never had anything I have out there. I have all the tools. Like, I buy I've planted so many trees. I've planted over 500,000 fucking seeds. Like,
Really?
so my thing is I want to just make it better. Like,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So I plant shit. I buy trees. I buy things. I plant shit. Like, I keep just adding to it because I just want to make it nicer. You know, whatever it is, whenever I leave it, whenever that ends up being, I just want it to be nicer because we don't own nothing. Like, eventually someone else will have this. Like, I'll die or I'll sell it or I'll do this. But I want to make sure it's
Maybe your
nicer.
kids will have it, bro.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. I love it. I want my kids in nature, dude. Mm-hmm. And right now, like, this is nature without having to go 2 hours in, 3 hours in. You know what I mean? Like, you can, like, right now, like,
Bro, I live in nature, man. Like, this is nature right here.
it's well,
Like, you can get it.
You live in Evergreen. Evergreen
Yeah.
is nature, though. Evergreen is, we already know, one of the best fucking places for nature and things like that.
You're right.
You know, like,
yeah.
we know, like, Evergreen is a special place.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't tell anybody.
You know? Like,
As I'm sitting
Evergreen
here
is
on a
special.
podcast.
Well, you know, and that's the same with like my land. There hasn't been many people there. Like, we've had a few people there, and I like don't say where it exactly is because
Yeah.
it's a special place. Like, I don't just bring people there. Like, you don't just get to come.
You got to be a fucking goonie,
You
bro.
have to be part of it. You
Yeah.
know, like, I know you're invited, but it's like, it's a special place.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
and I treat it as such. You know,
Sacred
like,
ground, bro.
Sacred ground. You know,
Yeah.
like, and you got to treat stuff like that. You got to treat the universe and the world like that, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and I guess that's kind of what I get out of hunting. Like, you're being a steward of that land. Like, and I think that's important, man. There's a connection.
You have to be
with that.
one.
Like, and there's a sense of pride that comes with that too. Like, I'm so fortunate. One of the places where I hunt mule deer, my family's hunted on it for like close to 40 years. Mm-hmm. Me only 5 since I've been let in. Like you have to be a certain maturity. You have to be a certain age.
I love that.
And it's not even our property, but it's a family friend of ours. That's like,
it's
hey,
sacred.
we
It's
trust
sacred.
you.
It's sacred. We trust you.
Yeah.
We trust you. Which, how do you know trust is so big? You know, like, and I do feel like some people just kind of like let that be like not a big deal, and it is. Like when someone trusts you or lets you have something. I think it's
a lost art.
It is in a way. Yeah. You know, and like you have to like cover that. Like if someone trusts you to, like you have to. Like
that's
you don't just think of it as something small.
No, that's a gift in itself.
Exactly.
So, like, there's times, you know, where I talk to the landowner a lot.
Yeah,
you know, she has horses. She has stuff that she's concerned about. She has stuff that she wants done on her property, and she understands game management. She's not a hunter herself, but she's like, if somebody's not in here fucking kicking shit around on this 300 acres, then there's going to be problems, right? So she understands it, and then I'm getting something out of it, and then I'm giving her some of the meat, and it's like it's like this.
It's a cycle.
It's a tribal. It's
Absolutely.
a big circle, man.
Exactly.
Like everybody's getting something out of it.
Nothing.
And to have that sort of human connection with somebody is like, it's very, very. It's unheard of today because everybody's just out for their own. They're getting their own shit.
But at the same time, if you don't do something with someone else, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Oh, I can have this all by myself, but what's the point? I'm just by myself then.
You know what's
I
funny?
want to enjoy it with somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
You
know
know
what's funny is the closest thing that we have to is like the Starbucks pay it forward wall or whatever the fuck it is. Like, pay it forward with a cup of coffee, which is cool.
Oh,
right?
I don't know what that is.
It's like you go in line and you're like, the next person that comes in here, I'd like to buy their coffee or some shit. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I'd rather give you a fucking piece of bison backstrap or a fucking...
Absolutely.
You know, that's me and Donnie. That's our
something
friendship.
that has meaning behind for you. Like, I'm giving you this because it means something to me, and I'm giving this to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. It is a lost art, you know, and that does suck in our world, you know? Like, we have to have each other. Like, I can't do anything by myself. Even though I'd like to go do things by myself and things in a way, you know? But at the same time, I can't do anything without my people. I can't do anything without my people. You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not going to be as enjoyable by myself.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I like to do certain things by myself, but not everything.
Yeah, man.
You can't do anything great by yourself. No one's accomplished anything great by themselves. They've had people by them sides or helping or by them side all the time.
Well, I think that, you know, going back to like, even leadership, right? Like, you know, this coming from the fight game and coaching and being in guys' corners and all that sort of stuff. Like, you're kind of only as strong as the people that are holding you up, man. Because I love that saying, man.
Well,
like, I say it all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that's rang true in my industry, man. Like, so in my industry, there was like a core group of guys. Like, say we're on tour with Lil Wayne, which I was. Mm-hmm. And we're putting together this huge rap tour at the height of his career. And that's a bad example because I'm a rock and roll guy. But I'm just trying to relate it to like a diva or rap star or something like that. And Wayne was fucking badass, dude. I loved working for that dude.
Absolutely.
He was awesome.
Professional.
Man. Total professional. Like beyond professional. Like I've worked for a lot.
Yeah.
But anyways, long story short, like you're on tour, so there's a core crew, like that was maybe like 60 people. There's a lighting guy, there's an audio guy, there's a fucking...
You're all depending on each other, right?
Right.
Bro? Like so you're all depending on each other.
But then you have to get there and you have a new local crew every day. It's not just you 60 guys.
You gotta mesh with the people.
Each one of you guys has 10 to 20 to 30, depending on how big your job is and how fast you need to get it done, which you show up in the morning, you load it in, an entire show.
Yeah.
And then the show happens that afternoon, and then that night you tear it down. So you're getting the same crew.
But what were you doing?
So you got to teach new people.
What were you doing that whole time?
I was always a stage manager.
No, but I'm saying in general, you guys are all working at a common goal, right?
100%. Yeah.
all working towards a common goal.
Yep.
You might not. You just met me, but we
But
both
what it
want
comes
this to kill
down
it.
to
We both want
is
this to kill it, right?
You need to fucking like rally the troops. Like if you're not a good leader, if you don't give good direction, they can't do their job. Then they're pissed off. It just like
starts at the
poison in the
top,
well, right?
Does it start at the top?
100%. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It always does. And I say it like that. I like emphasize it because I just had a conversation with something about this. It starts at the top, and then you got your next people, and they're just as important. They gotta do, but it starts at the top and it filters down to be successful.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it by yourself. No one does anything by themselves.
No,
Can we
fuck
just do
no.
this? What would be happening right now if I was just talking to myself? What the fuck? What great would
I couldn't do it.
What great thing would this be if I'm just like talking, right?
Dude, my
Or am I
hat
just
goes
talking?
off to like guys that can do a podcast all by themselves in a room.
But what is that?
But still,
though,
they're talking to an audience.
Man, you're still talking. We're not. No
Yeah.
one's doing this by themselves. This whole world, we're all together. Love again. Let's go back to God. Let's go back to thing. Again, I'm a big God believer. We know this. Like I'm a pusher on that. Like and I can't say I'm a pusher because I ain't gonna knock on your door.
Yeah.
But I'm a big God believer and love believer, and that's what it all is. That's what God is. Is love. God is love. God is love. He wants us all to be together. We're all together. We can't do any of this by ourselves. Like we can't sit here and talk. You can't have this podcast without me in a way right now. Like what's
100%,
this conversation? You just talking to yourself? Like what were you talking
dude,
to?
my whole reputation, because I've always stayed in the limelight, like I've always stayed in the shadows. Like that was my deal. I've been in some really cool shit. Around a ton of high profile people. I've lived that life.
Yeah.
But I was always in the shadows.
So
and I purposely, right?
Say that. Can I say something? Say that. Well, you say that in the shadows and shit. I've lived that same kind of life, bro. Because I've been a go work and leave like type of person. So I was never like right now. Like us doing this podcast. Of course, I love doing it with you, like and things. But right now, I'm on this like just like express a little bit more, be out there a little bit more.
Yeah,
like of course I love being here with you and things like that.
I love you, dude.
We enjoy our time together. Like we're just hanging out and having a good time. But the thing is, I was always the type in the shadows. My whole career, like I was in the type in the shadows because I came to work, I did my job, I left. If you didn't talk to me about fucking whatever we just worked on, you weren't talking to me. If I came into the gym for 2 hours, I worked. And if you didn't just talk to me about fucking something important, aka fucking fighting or whatever it was, I didn't talk to you.
Right.
Like that's how I used to fucking all business. That's how I lived my life. But then you gotta try to look back at stuff like, dude, life is life. Like during that business time, you gotta like open up a little bit more. Don't just fucking one side of it. You know what I mean? Like, I missed out on a lot of opportunities. I didn't take advantage of opportunities and things like, or even try, in and out, in and out, in and out. Didn't see it for what it was at those times, in and out.
I did it. I think that's being young. I mean, all the opportunities that I had to be on camera and do this and do that and like be a part of this interview, like a behind the scenes. I was always the B-roll on the DVD, and they always made you look like a jackass. So one of my mentors in the back in the day was like, don't fucking ever do it because they're going to make you look like a fucking idiot. Right? They're going to chop it up. They're going to look like they want it to be like the people in that industry are true professionals, man. Like they have to keep their shit together. They're not drug addicts. They're not doing, well, that's not true.
I was like,
they're not doing coke off a girl's tits, but it has been done.
Different
you know
things,
what I mean?
bro.
Yeah.
And we want to bring up drugs like it's a bad thing, but like, dude, drugs are tools. Like, let's just be honest. You're talking about them earlier with ketamine.
We're talking about peptides,
you want to talk ketamine. You want to talk about fucking
yeah.
psilocybin. You want to talk about things that everybody generates as drugs. Like, those are tools. You just have to know how to use them.
Yeah, man.
And you can't be stupid with them.
Same with words.
You can't be stupid with them.
Like words are the same thing. Words are tools, man. They're fucking powerful, bro.
All powerful things.
Yeah.
All powerful
I've said the wrong shit. I've said the right shit. And like to take it back full circle, like this podcast would be nothing if it wasn't for people saying yes and coming on and believing in. I feel like this is much more than a podcast. Like I've built a community in itself, right? Like,
and I believe
it's kind of like I've had you, Chris, Grant. Like I have the homies on,
and
you know
a
what
lot
I
of
mean?
people that are already my homie. Like we've had that group of people because we all collaborate and are together in a way, but we're all working towards something together. We're not just, like that's what it is. Like again, right now, me and you're just bullshitting and talking and enjoying our time together. But because we're talking on common sense that we both believe in, we're talking about stuff that we both are thinking about.
We're sharing experiences.
We're sharing
right?
experiences, but that's a community. Again, you can't do anything by yourself. Can't do anything by yourself.
No, hell no.
Like, and you can't
this
do anything-
podcast would be nowhere if it's built on my guests, really.
A podcast by yourself?
Yeah.
How many of those do we know that are successful? Just by a person that just you could be like how many of those do we know?
I'm talking to the wall again.
You know what I mean? It could be fucking Chris Farley, and we're still like, dude, like he would have fucking guests,
Right.
He would have fucking guests. Chris Farley, that guy's the guy. He was the guy.
Well, not only that, even if you're in a room by yourself, you're still talking about other people.
I'm talking about things, dude.
You can't just go in and talk about yourself, right?
It's not, but again, it brings us back, like, we can't do this whole world by ourselves.
Yeah.
We can't. And if you want to try to do that way, it'll be lonely and it'll be terrible. It won't be fun. It won't. Mm-hmm. Like, we do things together.
You know what's
that's
crazy?
We're human
is
nature.
I know people like that, too. They're like,
they try
fuck
to do
everybody.
That. They try to do that.
Yeah.
They try to do that, but they're not happy. They're not happy.
They're the most miserable people I know.
God put us all here together. He wants us to communicate. We don't have to be fucking believe in everything and do everything the same. We don't all have to communicate because we can't. There's millions of us. But he wants us to he wants us to love. He wants us to be together. He wants us to create together and be together.
Yeah, man.
And that's what I believe. Like I have such a strong belief in God, and I always have. My belief in God has been crazy.
Did that start from like childhood, or where did you get it? Like,
Childhood.
where was it instilled in you?
Childhood. And the thing is, crazy. You want to hear the craziest thing? My church just made me seem like I was a maniac. Like I would be like,
You are a maniac.
Like, you know what I mean? Like my church and things. Would
I wonder why. I'm just joking.
It's not. You're right.
Yeah.
I am a maniac. And the thing is, like that, everything would say I am like a troubled child, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never lost my belief in God during that time. Like it was just stronger.
Yeah.
Like I knew me, I knew and I knew to be a good person, but I was demonized. Like because I had energy. I was a kid that couldn't sit still.
Well, this is where I struggle with religion. Is people have different perceptions of it, and they always think that their perception is right, because they believe in God and they have this faith. And I'm all about that. I think you should have faith in something. But the way that I look at it is it can be interpreted in so many different ways. But like God is at war all
Always.
the time, right?
Always,
right? Like that's, and like I start reading into that aspect of it, like the knights and that sort of like, angels versus demons, like that whole fallen angels, like, dude, it's wild, man.
Oh yeah,
like some of the most ruthless people in the world have been formed from being God-fearing. You know what I mean? At one point, one time.
Oh yeah.
It's wild, man.
And that's the thing. Where's your faith at? Like there's God, and then there's whatever. What do you choose?
Right.
And that's where I've been at. I've always chose God, and I live in what I believe is right.
Mm-hmm.
I live in what I believe is right. And what I believe is in Him. Because who can decide? Because everything's been written by man. Give man power, he will abuse it.
100%. Yeah.
Always. So where on that fence? Where is that? But I'm God believing. I have the faith in God always, and I've had that since a young boy. Even though they demonized me, my church demonized me. My church demonized me as a child. Like I was not a good kid.
What kind of faith? Just Christianity or Catholic or like?
So I grew up Lutheran, but like to me, faith is faith. Like
that's where I'm at. Like
there's no Christianity. I believe in God.
Yeah.
I believe in a higher power whoever he is or however he does or whatever he believes in, I believe in a higher power.
That's what I believe.
That's it. That's it. Christianity, Lutheran, this. I grew up Lutheran, but it's.
I think a
what's the
lot of
difference?
it's the same.
If Buddha, this, that, we're all believing in a higher power. What do you like? We believe in a higher power. Like, I'm not against Buddha. I'm not against freaking. However you believe in a higher power, right? Whatever you call him, that's my stance. You know, and that's a big stance where I am. I'm a very God-driven person. That's it. Like I am. Like my Vici right here, that goes everywhere with her. This is an angel from God. Dog. What's dog spelled backwards? God. Let's just play it. But like,
I didn't
you
ever
never put that together. You never put that together.
No, man.
Yeah. So I've always
That's
called
awesome.
Vici. Vici's my angel, and all dogs are. I've had amazing dogs. Like Vici. Like people have met Vici. Vici is literally one of a kind. Like you'll literally like.
Oh, I love Vici.
You'll and the thing with Vici is like Vici's been like excellent throughout, and there's like zero discipline here. Like there is no like me like literally this guy just does what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Like, but he's perfect, and you're never gonna meet someone that says Vici's a terrible dog. Like literally you're gonna meet Vici and
dude.
everybody. This guy's been to Italy. This guy's been to Ireland. This guy's been to fucking all over the world. He traveled to everywhere with me. Yeah, this guy's traveled everywhere.
You bring him on the plane?
Oh yeah, everywhere.
Like between your legs? Or?
Everywhere. Between my legs, never on a leash. This dude's never on a leash. Literally does his shit. Literally does his shit. Always been like that. You know, like that's an angel. That's a God angel right there. And I get good ones. God gives me good angels. Like that's it. Like, that's what I believe. You know, like God gives me good angels.
So badass, man.
You know?
Dude, I never put that correlation together. Dog spelled backwards. Man, there's nothing like that's unconditional love when your dog sees you, like if they haven't seen you for like a week.
Dude. Unconditional love, dude.
Yeah. It's awesome.
They're there to support you.
Yeah, that's so rad.
They're there to support you.
Man, I always look to it as like I'm always I guess I've been a warrior myself, but not like that's why I have that correlation, I guess, or that connection with fighters, war fighters, and I think that's the biggest thing that I take out of faith is I always look to like those people that are forged in the hottest fires, right?
Oh yeah,
I would consider you one of those people, man. Like, you know, like there's people that test themselves or put themselves to the true test, and maybe even sacrifice for others. I think, you know.
That you say that with the word sacrifice. Like what's the willing? Like put yourself paying for what? For the greater good.
Yeah.
Like that's what God did, right? Put yourself through paying for the greater good. That's
Like
what Jesus did.
I relate it to soldiers, man, because I get to go and tuck myself in my bed and wake up with no fear. That's because people are sacrificing.
They're sacrificing
for freedom.
No one has no fear. Like we all fear something. We all have something.
No, but we live in a pretty cush spot.
We live in a
dude.
good spot, but it's not even no fear. These people do it knowing what is they're sacrificing. People like that are doing it knowing what's at stake. Like it's not fear. They do fear that. They do fear pain. We all fear pain. We all fear destruction, whatever the fuck it is. But they're putting that on the line, knowing what's at stake for the greater good. For the greater good, right? Like soldiers doing it for their neighbor or whatever.
Or
they're
first
doing it
responders,
for.
even, man. Like,
anything. You know, like whatever they're putting it towards.
Yeah.
You know, and it's for the greater good. You know, like
I agree.
They're not and they're not immune to pain. They're not immune to nothing. They're stepping in and knowing what they're doing it for is for the greater good.
Yeah, man.
You know, and they're taking on what comes with it. Whatever happens here.
Yeah.
Whatever happens here, I take it for the greater good. You know?
I think that's been my biggest change in how I perceive faith is those guys going into some of the worst fucking things in the world, seeing the most amount of evil and taking God with him. Like that blows me away. And like I just can't imagine like going in and taking another human's life and then multiple people's lives for a cause because you were told to. There's got to be something more, right? Like there's got to be
something more. You said it right
it's
there.
patriotism.
There's got to be something more, though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But we have to believe in that. There's something more.
Good
behind
versus
it.
evil, man. Like I think that's
in
true. I believe in evil more than I believe. I believe in evil more than anything.
If you
so
believe
if
in evil,
evil's real,
you gotta believe in good. If you believe in good, you gotta believe in evil. They're both there.
Yeah.
You believe in one, there's the other. You have to believe in it. You know, it's not what side you choose every day, but what side do you want? Like, you know what I mean? Like where you want to be put. You know, you want to be on that evil side or you want to be on that good side?
I think there's something to. I know we're going down a deep fucking road here,
we're down
but
there,
I think
dude.
that there's something to like possession, and greed.
What do we possess, though? What do we possess? Like, I own land, but do I? I die. Who owns it?
No. I'm just talking about like being possessed by the devil.
Oh.
Right?
Oh,
like I think that's.
Oh, okay.
I think that.
Shit. Okay.
I think that's a real thing. Like there's.
So I think you've given yourself over to. I think people have given themselves over to the devil because they choose that versus good.
Right.
This is easier, or that's what they chose.
Right.
You made a choice. I just so.
But I've been possessed in anger before. I'm sure that you have.
I'm an angry person, bro.
I'm not saying like I believe that like all of a sudden the devil flies into you and you're a serial killer.
No, but
I'm just saying like you're that
I believe
angry.
he's knocking on the door.
100%.
He's knocking on the door. He wants you to bring.
They want to test you, right?
They want to test you. Oh, what's your faith? Oh, you believe in that? You know, it's testing you. The devil's always testing you. He's always there. He's always the opposition. What's your choice? You choose him or you choose me? What's your choice?
Yeah.
Sometimes you might fucking go around thing, you come back. You might have made the wrong choice for a second, but you come back. Who knows what it is? But we all know core values. Core values is where I really believe it is. Like, if you do something that you know is not right, it's not right.
Yeah,
like
if you know it in the back of your mind,
like right now,
if you're questioning
like
it,
right now, if you grab that little white fucking thing and you stab me in the arm with it, you knew that was wrong.
I never would, but
why would you do that, right?
Yeah. I think where it crosses the line for me is if you're hurting, like you can hurt me. I don't care about getting hurt.
Oh yeah.
You hurt somebody I love, then I'm pissed.
But who I heard that you love, try hurting me.
Yeah.
Try hurting me.
Yeah.
And then take me from my family. You know, that's when shit gets where we go from there.
That's why,
you know?
That's why we're...
And I don't feel bad.
Honestly, that's
hurting.
why we're at a lot of war. I mean, a lot of wars are fought on...
Someone thinks this is right and someone thinks this is right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what's wrong or right. They think that, and I'm not going to tell you that's wrong.
And that's what's so crazy about what's going on in the world now is there's justification on both sides a lot of the times. It's like...
With certain things.
With certain things, yes.
Certain things. Like I said, like I tell people, I'll fuck up a 4-year-old. If they're trying to fuck up my 4-year-old, done.
Right.
I have no, and I think me and God are still good. Like I protected mine, and I'm not doing anything outside of my circle. Like I don't want to hurt this person, but I don't want them to hurt my person.
Yeah.
Think
about what some of these soldiers have had to go through, where it's like life or death situations, and the ID.
That's where they get fucked up.
Yeah.
They had to fucking kill a woman, or they had to kill somebody, or just anybody.
Yeah.
Like, where's that line? That's where they do get fucked
man,
up.
That's crazy.
And the thing is, like, I've just always been like, I wouldn't, and I can't say I wouldn't because I've been in some scenarios that I don't know, like, you know what I mean? But I wasn't there. Like, I couldn't tell you exactly what you should feel.
I think that's the thing too, is everybody has like these outside perspectives. Unless you've actually been there, who knows, man?
Unless you've been there, you know, you take it like everyone's situation's different. Everyone's situation's different. You know, what's your walk? You know, what's your walk? You know, I'm trying to walk in God as much as possible. Always.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's what's your walk.
Yeah.
All our walks are different. If you don't understand that now, then get off the tracks because we're all different. We're all different.
Yeah.
You know? That's what I'm saying.
Brandon, I love you, man. Because, like, you don't sugarcoat anything. You keep it fucking real. Like, this these are my best guests, man.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like
yeah.
just people that fucking tell me what's up. 'Cause-
No, I keep it real, dude.
Yeah.
I do. Like non-apologetic in that way. Like I keep it real, dude. But
Yeah.
but the thing is, I'm like you take it, like people take it. I'm a friendly dude in the sense of like I love humanity. Like I love people. Love is everything.
oh, I know you do.
You know, but I don't deal with shit like at all. Like I am very, you know, like on that. You
Yeah.
know, and that's the thing.
Horrifying. It's
No, man.
Hey, you know that you know, like the thing is like with stuff in this like I enjoy your company. And that's why we're here. You know?
Yeah, man.
Like I enjoy your company. Like we fucking again thinking some of the same things. You know,
Yeah.
not the exact same things, but like nobody does.
I'm so fortunate, dude. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm very fortunate. I don't take any of this for granted. I don't take anybody's time
Yeah.
that comes in here for granted, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And, like I'm just so lucky, and I love everybody that comes in here, man. And I'm trying to keep it that way, you know.
Well,
so I say no to some motherfuckers, you know. But
Well,
like,
the thing is, with your like with the sit sounds and stuff, you like bring in great people, like and you're taking in. I love that.
Yeah.
Like and that's a great thing because sometimes we don't like. I didn't take in a lot of my fight career. Like I was trying to fast forward it the whole time. Like get in and get out.
Yeah.
Like get in and get out was my whole mentality. You know, and that's not a great mentality because again, life is long. Like and it's everything. Like don't try to get in and get out of anything because that's part of the process.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and this is big. This is important. These are great. These
oh,
conversations.
these times, yeah.
Like with people that are like you like talking to and things like that. That's what it's about, dude. Like enjoy every moment of the process.
it's the
like-
human connection, man. That's why I still do this. It's like I'm not knocking down millions of dollars doing this, right?
No,
Like,
no,
we're
no,
still
no.
in this place with the, you know,
Great
like,
fucking place.
yeah,
though. Great
it's
fucking
so
place,
rad,
so.
man. And I'm so fortunate for everything that we have. So I'm not complaining by
Yeah,
any means.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like, I don't know if we made millions of dollars if I'd change it. I'd still have the fucking the people on that I want to, and like,
And that's the thing. Enjoy
Yeah.
the whole process.
Yeah,
Enjoy
yeah.
the whole fucking process, dude. That's life. Because all of a sudden we're old and we're done and we're this and then we're that and blah blah and then we're dead, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. Enjoy the whole process. You
and
know what I
the
mean?
process that I love here is like, it's a moment to come in and actually have a conversation where this isn't involved.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There might be some whiskey involved, maybe a
some
bottle of
whiskey involved.
scotch.
Some whiskey involved. Some Scott. We had Scotch
Yeah.
tonight. That shit that makes you feel. The shit that makes you
Yeah.
feel. You know, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, I'm not a big drinker, but coming and fucking having some drinks with my boy and we're talking and
Absolutely,
things like that
dude.
and like talking life,
Yeah.
like I love it. It's enjoyable. You
Yeah.
know, and that's the whole thing. Like,
Dude, it's
enjoy the
enjoyable
whole
to
process.
me too, man.
What's
I
that?
love having you, dude. Like, I'll have you back more. We need to hang out more. I wanted to give you something, man, because I just thought, I don't know. It was gifted to me, and I think you're supposed to like gift these things on. And I found out like more about it, but I just think it's cool. This is a tactical rosary
Okay, a
you-
tactical rosary.
that you can actually like choke somebody with if you needed to. I know it follows like the Catholic religion, but there's all kinds of like
Yeah.
prayers and stuff. And it's just heavy.
Yeah.
It's fucking durable, and I don't know. I've enjoyed wearing it and stuff, but the beads are actually from Bethlehem,
Okay.
which is pretty wild,
Yeah, fucking right it is.
right? Like the more I read into this
Fucking right
thing, like
that
it's
is,
pretty
dude.
cool, and I don't know. I just felt like pulled to give it to you today, man.
Well,
I don't know
fuck,
why.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's damn near amazing, bro.
And I was gonna give it to you off camera, which I probably should, or we can just edit this part out. But yeah,
dude. Like, honestly, these are the things, bro. Like I said, like we've created this connection, like things like this. Like, you know, I'm a very hard God believing individual.
Yeah.
You know, but like getting something from like you, like, dude, fuck, bro, that's dope.
it's cool, man. It's a cool piece.
Yeah, that's a very cool piece, dude. Yeah, like I said, I'm such a pusher on, you know, the
Yeah.
Lord and Savior. You know, like I
No,
I'm
it's
big in that.
inspiring to me
Like-
when I
like-
meet like you or somebody like Grant, because you guys have changed my mind. And my buddy
Where
Mark
did you get
Montoya.
this? Hold on. Where did you get this? This is dope, bro.
Yeah, it's the real
Where
fucking
did
deal.
this is like
I got it.
Yeah, dude, I love this shit, man. That's fucking.
I don't feel worthy of it. Like, you know what I mean? There's a few people that have changed my mind in God, because I had some really negative experiences with religion at a young age. Yeah. And it was due to other people. It had nothing to do.
That's man, dude.
That was man.
That wasn't God. That was man. But man will always will fuck up power.
Yeah.
Always.
But there's 3 people that come to mind that have changed my mind about faith, and you being one of them. Grant Neal being the second, which you guys are, that's your homie.
That's my guy. Yeah. He's honestly like a spiritual leader in a way to me. You know, like that's my guy.
He's awesome. And Mark Montoya is the other one, man. Like, I don't know if you know Mark, but
I know Mark, but I don't know Mark. I don't know him enough.
He's a great dude.
Yeah. We never had anything against each other. Like he's but this, bro. Like I'm feeling this shit. Like this is heavy. Like, this is like real deal, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's a lot of the guys that I know that I got that from are taking it into war. Like it's a tactical piece.
No, bro, bro. I feel the energy coming from this. Yeah. I thoroughly appreciate this.
Next time you come in, I'll give you the whole kit. There's a whole little like prayer book that comes with it, and like some description on it, and like what each one of the prayer beads is, because each one of the different ones is a saint. Like, it's pretty wild, but they're all warriors.
Yeah, that's amazing, cool. Bro. I truly appreciate this.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, my walk in faith, and I try to spread that love as much as possible. Even though where I come from, I'm a little like quiet on that end, and like people don't come to me on that. But I'm a firm believer in like, you know, like.
Well, I wanted to give it to you because I think that I'm kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out a lot of the time, and it's like.
And the thing is, like, you say that, and like for like I'm not a changer and like a believer like pushing someone in that direction, but like I love like my walk and path. Like I want other people that I love to walk with me in that path. You know, like I would never force nothing in that way. Like you'll never see me as
and that's
like
what I don't want.
You know, you never see me as that like you gotta like push things. Like I just tell my story, and I try to bring that warmth to the people that I love. You know, and like, you're becoming in that, man. Like we've talked about that. Like we have this group of people. Like we do. And that's the power.
Yeah.
You know, that's the power. And again, like I said, my faith has always been steady. It is.
Well, I know that's why I feel like I every time I put that on, I don't know that I'm worthy to wear it. And who gave it to me is even worse. You know, it's like they're fucking heavy.
The thing is, until you do feel worthy, then
yeah,
you know, that's on you. But like I see your strides in those scenarios.
I'm still trying to figure it out, dude.
You're trying to figure it out,
and that's kind of the fun part. That's what I was talking about on the last podcast.
Dude,
is like trying to figure it out.
I can't get over this. I fucking do really like it. This is strong, bro. Like this isn't fragile. Like when I grab this thing, it's strong, bro.
Well, wait till you look at it too.
I've been looking at it, bro.
Yeah.
This thing's strong.
No, like really look at it. Like
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate
you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Let's end on that note. We always have a great time, dude. Great time.
Yeah. You're welcome anytime. I'm going to come up to the property for real.
Yeah.
I'll fucking chop down a tree with you or some shit.
We're always doing stuff out there.
A dead tree.
We're always doing stuff out there, dude.
Hell
Always.
All right. I love you, my brother.
I love you too, bro.
Thank you.
Great.
Vici.
Jeremy, thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Mountainside Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to do this already, please take a moment, follow, like, subscribe, or rate on whatever platform you catch the Mountainside Podcast at. If you'd like some more information on upcoming episodes, safety tips, access to all of our affiliates, and all the badass discounts that we get here at the Mountainside Podcast, check out themountainsidepodcast.com.